Welcome to Black Angus Reviews. It is Utter Chaos, episode 17. Almost legal. Almost legal. We got one of my favorite bigots, Snowdub. Music and entertainment. What is up, Snowdub?
What is up, my bigots? Welcome to the Utter Chaos. Good to be here.
Wow, I already got a dislike. I'm assuming it's from Kermit the Log or Proper Jenny. But yeah, no, it's great to have you. I say like, fuck, he's been on here a lot, but I haven't like focused on Snow, and I try to focus on white people as much as possible, given the climate, shed as much light on you as possible, not too much. Don't want you to get cancer too early. But yeah,
as long as you give me a reach around, I'm happy.
And representing the gays community, we have Red Gaze.
Howdy, howdy. What's up, gays?
I love that he's finally accepting it.
I have embraced it.
Yeah, he's embraced the gays agenda. I kept telling him, dude, you need to do this. He was like, no, thanks, pass. And then all of a sudden I check a video, it's like, join the gays community. I'm like, wow.
It's all thanks to you.
What's up, you crazy people?
Oh, wow, we got Drunk 3PO.
Well, that wow wasn't very exciting.
No, I'm just like, well, my tone might be off. I haven't drank in like 3 weeks, and I got me a fresh bottle of Windsor Canadian rye whiskey. Unfortunately, this is not brought to you by them, but maybe in the future it will be. We'll see. It's pretty cheap, and I'm a cheap date, so. We're here to celebrate one of my favorite bigots, Snowdub, and interview him, make him the focus of this stream. Anything you want to say, Drunk 3PO, before we begin, or any topics you want to steer us towards in regards to Snowdub?
Nah, man, I'm glad your sister's doing well, brother. Honestly, that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Drunk. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, she just tweeted it out. I just saw, and then so I'm gonna stay as long as I can. My good friend, Angus, man, I almost doxed you.
Yeah, my mom's done that. I'm like, fucking
sorry. Yeah, but thank you. I'll hang out for a minute. I'm eating watermelon, so if it gets slushy and loud, sorry.
Oh, I forgot I did that. I don't know if you're part of it because I got so many freaking updates. No offense to Megs, but being tagged in these things, I get 30 updates in an hour, and I'm at work, so I don't check my phone for like 5-6 hours, and I see my phone, it's like 50 updates, and like nothing's really in reference to me. But no, I saw your picture, Drunk, of you eating watermelon. Did you see what I said to you?
Yeah.
I don't know if you replied or not because I just got so many updates.
Dude, I'm getting like overly tagged with like so much. And like the stuff that I want to see, like Megs and like the stuff you guys post to me, yeah, it gets lost in the wash. So I got to figure something out here. Either I'm going to do like a massive unfollowing or I don't know, something.
I can feel your guys' pain now because, you big channels having all this attention. It's like, wow, it's so hard to get to all these damn messages.
Yeah. So were you having to go back and forth between Tucson and Phoenix this last week, or were you just in Tucson, or?
No, the way it worked out was I had to watch the house and all their dogs for her. That was my role. So I stayed home here in Tucson and, kept her dogs and her cat fed and, kept the trees watered and all that good stuff. Just held down the home fort, and her husband and kids and sister-in-law all went up there to Phoenix and got a hotel. And so it worked out pretty good.
Nice. Now, are her dogs bigots as well?
One of them for sure is, because it's Doberman. That's from our bloodline of Dobermans. So yeah, that one's Fred, and he definitely would like you, Black Angus.
Nice. So since I got a couple white people here, Drunk, you are a droid, so you don't count in this instance on YouTube.
Gotcha.
In my eyes, you're a minority.
I love
And
this guy.
with that comes privilege. Well, you get what I mean. I hadn't talked to Rookie in a bit, and I went to Ollie's, got an Ollie's in my neighborhood. Like you see Jeff Hicks find lots of Star Wars products that don't sell. And of course, I found a whole bunch of punch and stuff. But then I'm talking, I'm like, oh, wow, Cheese Whiz. Or no, I was like, squeeze cheese. And he's like, what, squeeze? What are you talking about? I'm like, wait, what? Like, you mean, we're fat guys. Like, come on, you got to know what squeeze cheese is, dude. And no, Stu didn't know. He's got the extreme white palate that is flavorless, and he's never enjoyed easy squeeze cheese. Cheese in a can.
What?
Yeah,
Dude,
and
I could eat that raw, like with
so
no
I
crackers.
said, I'm like, wait. Maybe you just, our
Raw.
wires are crossed. And so I sent him a picture of it in my hand, and he's like, nope, that sounds fucking weird. And so later, because he's at work, otherwise he'd be here, I sent him a 5-photo walkthrough of a cracker, which, should make him feel safe, and then some cheese in my hand, and then squeezing the cheese on the cracker, and then me consuming the cracker. And he says, my eyes!
That's funny.
Yeah, he doesn't like anything very flavorful at all, so I'm always at a loss with that guy. But it's fun. It's fun. Address the chat really quick before we get deeper with SNO. Got Kermit
Are
the
we
Frog.
live?
Deeper.
Oh, what the heck? Sorry, I'm like over talking you guys and stuff. My bad.
No. You're totally fine.
No, Angus overtalks everybody drunk.
Yeah, and you got droid privilege, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Come put me in the same group as Proper Jenny. I see how it is. We got Cinedave. What's up, Cinedave? Stone Cold Jeremy. This guy called the Red Gaze. He can go the fuck away.
That guy's an asshole.
Stony Mick. Oh, you changed your name. Did YouTube make you Stony Mick Internet Douche? Is that what happened? I know your real name. But anyway. Snowdub, what's something you want to talk about? I haven't been keeping up with much of the entertainment news as of late.
Did we want to talk about me personally, or we want to talk about like the latest topics?
Yeah. Let's get into that. 'Cause I did watch your stream with Jeremy. What was it like? What were the series of events leading up to you and Megs getting on D-Day Cobra's channel? Which you
That's
say like, oh, me
interesting.
and Drunk are big shots. Like, dude, you got on there before we did. So like, what are you talking about?
Oh man, yeah. I was wondering when that jealousy would start pouring out.
Oh, okay.
No, it was kind of funny. I was bugging Megan for a few days to finish that video of her, and because she was working on it for a little while, and I was like, you need to get that up before you go into surgery so people know what's going on with you, And okay, I'll get it done, and she finally got it done. I believe that Friday, if I remember right. And when she posted it, I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and share it. And remember, I tagged like you guys, Drunk and Angus, and I believe like halfway through me tagging, I was like, I guess I'll, go ahead and tag old D-Day Cobra on this one, so maybe he'll check it out. Well, boy, did he ever, he checked it out, and I guess it inspired him, and then he started hitting up Megs in her Twitter. He wasn't talking to me, and he was hitting her up in her Twitter and just telling her how cool she is, and she's the strong hero that we need, and next thing you know, he's offering her a stream basically the next day because she had to go to the hospital so quickly, and that's kind of how it evolved, just like that. So set it all up, and boom, we were rolling, and I really had time to really, take it all in, because it was just wham bam there, and now we're all geeks and gamers, it was that quick. But I'm humble.
You came on as Jolly, right?
Yeah, yep, came on.
That was awesome. I
sure.
saw that. It was awesome.
Got to put some comedy relief in there, bud.
No, it was cool. It's cool seeing you. Y'all composed yourselves really well. I thought you'd do fine. I didn't know about Megs just because I haven't seen her much on YouTube as of yet, just starting out. So it was good seeing her having poise, whether it was just her being scared into doing fine or if it was just her natural poise. Either way, it worked. Really quick, saying hail to Man of Sex, fellow war campaigner. Drunk 3PO, you need him on your show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'll be entertained for sure.
No. He's great, but go on his show or go on with like Adam. Was it Arch City Comics? Just because of the name, people are gonna like, with you being a teacher and kids following you still.
Yeah, that's.
You'd have people get triggered. That was the joke, and you're like, oh, I should, so you didn't buy
Well,
it.
I trust your opinion on a lot of things, so maybe I should rethink my life about that.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
No, Man of Sex is awesome, but yeah,
I am
not
new
suited
to
for
the.
your audience.
I'm new to the war campaign thing. Like, I don't know that much about it. I know about it, but like, I'm not like in the. I need you to like go off camera and like give me a walkthrough.
Yeah, no.
Like,
We
that's
could
all.
probably could. No, Man of Sex is awesome. I would definitely tell you to stream with him on other channels. Just don't hurt like your image. And he's aware. He's aware. It's not me crapping on him. He's aware of he memes hard. He has a God. I'm trying to think what when I first got on War Campaign, saw the memes. One of them was like Mel Gibson ahead of like this transformer with like a gun, a cannon that shoots like a fisting dildo. And I was like, wait, what is that? It's like Gagatron or something is what he called it. So yeah, they meme hard.
Funny.
Let me see. Stony Neck Internet Douche says, local man found beaten and covered in crackers. Attackers reportedly shouted, "This is spray cheese country." Oh yeah, a little tidbit I forgot to say. I told Rookie, but of course it's lots of flavor, so it wouldn't be up his alley. When I make Philly cheese at home, instead of using Cheese Whiz, because I don't like Cheese Whiz, there's something about the taste with that artificial cheese. It just doesn't set well with me. So I use the provolone. I use the second cheese. Instead of using the Cheese Whiz, I use squeezed cheese for my third cheese on the Philly cheese. And I also make mushrooms and what is it? The pepperoncinis, the banana peppers, and eggs. Fry a couple eggs.
Dude, I use that easy cheese like that you put on crackers.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
I almost eat a whole can every football game. Like when football season's in, I stock up on that stuff, man. It's probably why I'm gonna have a massive heart attack in like a year because it's in my it's like in my arteries. But either that or I'll live forever. Like roaches live forever because they eat all that crap. So yeah, like football season, man. I go through easy cheese like. And I get the Ritz crackers and the easy cheese, man. Just go to town.
See, I'm more
cheese.
of a fan. I'm more of a fan of the either Wheat Thins or Triscuits.
Yeah,
It
like
all depends on what's cheaper, but the Ritz crackers, they
Nah.
do it for me.
Yeah, Ritz crackers and Wheat Thins for sure. Triscuits are along the same lines as Frosted Mini Wheats there, Angus.
It's a little soyish, but that's okay.
Wow, soy.
I like pure white saltine crackers.
You would.
Oh man,
See, this is
you
appropriate.
can't even
chat.
eat those things, man. You take a bite and they all crumble in your hand all over the floor.
Oh God,
You
have you
got
had
the
an
dog
MRE?
licking it up.
Have you had an MRE drunk 3PO? Because
Oh yeah.
if you had the
You
crackers,
know why?
if you had
You'll
the
never
crackers
guess how I got an MRE. You'll never guess.
being in
I was
Haiti.
I was in the Civil Air Patrol.
Really?
You know what that is? You know what the Civil Air Patrol is?
No.
It's a form of it's something that it's like ROTC, but it's part of the Air Force Search and Rescue, and you sign up as while you're in like high school, middle school. So you still drill. It's like ROTC, but it's like the Air Force, and they have you search for planes, and like so we would go camping, and they'd always give us those MREs, and they were disgusting, man. You take a bite of like they don't have like no water in them. And you don't realize that you take a bite, it dries your mouth out in like 5 seconds, and then like you're constipated for a month. It's really, right? Am I right or?
No, I actually when I was deployed, I was in a state of war where we didn't have to eat MREs. We only had them in case, but I liked MREs, so I would search them out, and especially the tuna, because you knew with tuna you'd always have the milkshake, usually strawberry. I love those milkshakes. But yeah, I never had a problem with constipation. I didn't really eat the cheese a lot, so I don't know. Maybe that was it. Who knows?
Might have been.
So,
Yeah.
have you had MREs?
Yes, I've tried a couple. Buddy of mine was in the military, and he had stocked up on them. Like, he's one of those survival guys that planned on an apocalypse coming any day now. So he always had a bunch of them put away, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, he prepared it for me, so I don't remember exactly what was all involved. I think just add water, I guess, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I could live on it.
All right, and that was episode 17 of Utter Chaos. Thanks. I'm joking.
I
We
just
just
thought
said,
they're like
"Wow,
they're
what
so
happened?"
dry. Like they had the breakfast. The eggs were dry, and I mean they just sucked the moisture out because you carry them in camping. And then they had the hash browns. Oh my dude, it's like a Brillo pad, man. And then you have to add like water for you to eat them. But I mean, it is what it is. You eat them out of a bag, like the beef stew. You boil the bag, and we talk about the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking. I was a kid, man. I don't know. Like I think it wasn't McDonald's, so it tasted nasty. Put it
I
that way.
don't know. I'm easily pleased. So,
Yeah, I think I was
So
really
I've heard.
hungry. So
Lethal
probably why it
Lightning
tastes so
popped in,
good.
and he just says bigots, and it's like, yes, you're here among friends.
Bigots. I like that.
Yeah. So, Snow, tell us, just kind of run us through, get to know you. How did you get into the Phantom Menace, and how did you find me specifically, or did I find you? I don't recall. So, walk us through all that.
Do you really want me to talk about that night at that bar? I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of personal.
I'm
Oh,
open.
you mean on here? Oh, okay. Yeah. No, no. Phantom Menace. Let's see. I think I discovered World Class Bullshitters first. Back shortly after the whole Ghostbusters 2016 debacle, and so I started tuning in then, and then so I kind of it wasn't the Phantom Menace yet at that point, but there was that kind of that vibe going around, like this is getting to be BS about our movies, and I think it was after Last Jedi is when I really started noticing a lot of other channels coming up, including Geeks and Gamers and Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And then, of course, as time evolved, I've seen all these other channels and all these other people that were feeling the exact same way I was. And me and Megs have always kind of talked about doing this movie review channel and stuff. And I said, let's get in with the Phantom Menace. That we believe that side of the argument, so we might as well start making videos right along with them and just see how it goes. And of course, we made the decision that we didn't want another 40-year-old straight, white male as one of the hosts of our show. So insert Jolly the Conservative Puppet. And kind of just went from there. Now, as far as Black Angus is concerned, I think we started talking, I believe, in comment section of one of Geeks and Gamers videos, if memory serves me correctly. We had a little back and forth there. And then you hopped on my channel, or I hopped on your channel, and said something on a video. I believe it was a football related video, if I remember correctly. So that's my memory of it anyway. And then what's up, my bigot? And we kind of started our own bigot movement now.
Yeah. People don't understand. You have the gay F word that the LGBT is like, we need to reclaim that, make it ours, and use it, positively. You have black people, of course, in rap and whatnot, try to reclaim the N word as and take ownership of it for their own motives, whatnot. I'm a black person. I grew up with that culture, stereotype and whatnot. So it's very foreign to me. I don't normally use that word unless it's like haha, you said that and that's not you. It's funny. It's something I didn't grow up with. I don't like that culture. I don't like really hearing it. It's like it's very pointed to me. But with that vein of reclamation, I think we should turn it on its head and be like, we need to reclaim bigot, and make it a positive thing. It's our movement, the bigot movement. Just in mock the SJWs, it was kind of. I remember I came in a Geeks and Gamers channel. I'm like, what's up, my fellow bigots or something like that. And then Snowdub saw it and
What's up, my bigot?
yeah, and he's taken it further than I have. So I'm kind of piggybacking off of his initiative, honestly. So it's funny. You kind of say something, and you're like, whatever, and then someone else is like, oh wow, this is cool, you know. And you never know where your inspiration will come from, or what you will inspire people with. So no, it's really fun. I'm glad. I think you kept commenting. You know, you kept steering me to like check out your stuff. Because I'm like, oh, I got this rap video, and I didn't know you, or I didn't put together that you were the Seahawks channel or whatever.
Right.
And so I was like, who's this black guy keeps pushing his fucking indie rap? Like, I don't like rap, you know? And he keeps annoying me with this shit, you know? Like,
You thought I was black. I've had that happen a few times.
and I thought you were going to be like some like edgy black guy with a, you know, mean snowman emblem
Right.
on your channel. And then I check it out. I'm like, oh, okay. I can deal with this. This is cool, funky sampling. I like it, you know?
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
going into
definitely
that,
old school when it comes to the hip hop scene. I was raised in the '90s, so that's where my love of hip hop comes from, and that's definitely my style. Definitely.
yeah, no, I one of my favorite rap things of all is Chappelle Show with Tupac, where it's like the song sounds like he's like not dead. And he's like George W.
That was the greatest thing ever.
And everyone's like they're like bouncing. They're like, wait a minute, you know.
Now, you know, speaking of drunk, I was looking through all my old videos. Drunk, you've been commenting on my videos since like the very beginning. I had totally forgotten about that, but Drunk's been a fan of mine for a long time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think when you started when you did that song,
Right.
and you put me in the song,
Yep, the first
I was
one.
like, you know, I honestly, I mean, I know this is Angus's stream, so he likes to say a lot of dumb stuff to be funny, but
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he's kidding. It's not really that funny.
Oh, okay, so. But honestly, like that, those type of things, like when Angus made those joke videos with me, with Captain Marvel. Honestly, like I know it's all fun and games, but it really means a lot to me. It's kind of, I think it's cool that you've taken a small moment of your time to focus on me of all people. So it's like anyway, I don't not to sound dumb, but it was just like it meant a lot. So like it's like you've gained. I'll always try to get around to your channel as much as I can. So
You gained some droid points that day.
yeah, seriously, because look, there's a lot of YouTubers out there, and a lot of them, like, a lot of them want me, and I'm just using me as an example. They want me to retweet their stuff. They want me to like watch this vid. They want me to like show up, and not that I like want to do it to get something out of it. Does that make sense? But after a while, you're just kind of like, look, I'm supporting the people that support me, and I'm sorry, I don't have time for a million other people. Nothing personal, but you get what I'm saying?
I
So
know
it's like,
I've taken it very personally.
no, I'm just saying. Well, I'm sorry, but
That
it
was
just
one of
gets
his unfunny jokes.
it just gets overwhelming. You know,
No,
it gets
it was
overwhelming, and I'm
it
not
was
even that big. I can only imagine what like these other guys go through.
no, it's funny you're talking about that Captain Marvel video, Drunk, because I love like working with new people that, you know, I can find some similarity with someone. Like, okay, it's like, okay, they're not soy, they're not SJWs, they're not gonna get triggered. I start telling them like, yeah, you know what, Captain Marvel is like feminist crap and this and that. I'm like, yeah, so I got a buddy on YouTube, and he said something, so I held his ass to it, and I rallied people to force him to go see this movie.
Yeah,
It's so fun introducing them to my channel, and usually it's with like your video or talking about like the Mike Zero thing, and I explain like, yeah, there's this guy that spams content on YouTube about
we never
Star
got to
Wars.
finish that, did we?
No. I didn't forget. You can ask Ricky. I just talked about this like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, dude. I need to sit down and start writing episode 3. But that's the thing. It might take 3 years from now. Theoretically. But I don't forget what I want to make. It's just I'm going to give you quality. I'm not going to throw something out there just to like fill
Dude,
the void.
I kid you not. I saw that Brie. So when you tagged me in the Brie Larson video, the one where I went to the movie, like the big one, I sat there and I watched it. And my jaw was like dropped. I was like, "This is awesome." Even though it was like a goof on me, it was still awesome. Like all the editing, everything. I immediately sent it to like family and friends. So, so my mom is like, "What am I
Everyone's
looking
checking
at?"
their phone. They're like, "Who is this?" Like,
I sent it to my mom, and my mom's like, "What is this? What are you doing? What is all that?" I was like, "Mom, it's hilarious. Look at that. It's just they made me go see this film." And she's like, "I don't understand. What are they doing?" And I was like, "Oh, forget it." She's like, "Is he making fun of?" She's like, "Is he making fun of you?" I was like, "Yes," and it's great. So it's just,
It's great.
yeah. And then she's like, "What is that drunk thing?" I was like, "Oh crap, she doesn't know my name because she's like heavily religious,
Oh my god!
And I was like, "No, I'm drunk off Star Wars, Mom. It's a difference." So she's like, "Oh, okay." So I'm like, "Yeah, that was a mistake." But
Damn, that was a good save.
yeah.
No, I was just thinking of the whole basement dweller
Oh
idea
yeah,
of us as like you tweet it to your mom from the basement, like
pretty much. While she was bringing me hot pockets.
Mom, I told you to get ham and cheese. These are turkey. Damn it!
We haven't heard much from the gays community over here.
Oh, I pipe in every now and then.
Oh, okay. Make sure you're still there, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Don't fall asleep on me.
Gaze is probably off a little bit because me and him were talking for like 45 minutes before the stream.
Waiting for me to get there.
Sorry, what?
I said waiting for me to get there. Sorry about that.
No, it wasn't even that. I just thought you were ready, and I just needed to set it up. But like me and him were just talking on the phone, and
yeah, we had a long cheese whiz discussion.
yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna say this cheese whiz thing, but it's hurting me to like hold it in because like I just want to spill the beans, and then I say it to everyone, and everyone was like, whatever. It's like. Fuck my life.
Well, it's cheese whiz, man. I mean, that only goes so far.
Dude, I freaking want cheese whiz like right now.
We're gonna get a video.
I'm eating watermelon.
We're gonna get a video of him just like walking in Walmart, just staring at his phone, like, "I hate you, Angus."
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
right.
12 in the morning. It's like,
no, I'll go at 2 o'clock, man. I live in Central Florida, and 2 o'clock Walmart is better than Netflix. I mean, it is really something.
I
worked at Walmart. I worked at Walmart for 4 days, dude. 4 days.
4 days.
And I quit because I worked at night as a stalker. I was a night stalker. and
I'm just imagining like a robot.
Is that
like,
yeah, right.
I was thinking that was your vigilante name.
No, it was awful. And we had there was I remember my second night I was there, and I was stocking candles of all things, and these 3 women came in and they had no clothes on except maybe like underwear, and they were just as high as drunk as anything, and they were just like throwing up and peeing on the floor, and I'm just like. Yeah, it wasn't one of those things where you go, "Oh, cool, look at that." No, it was like,
It was like,
"Oh God,
Jesus!"
Like, yeah, it was like.
I mean, there's people that might think, hey, "Oh, that was awesome,"
No one in the store.
Don't kink shame, dude. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh no,
he's stink shaming.
No, because as an employee, you got to clean up that crap, and I'm just like. And if you've ever worked at Walmart and you have to clean up throw up, they have this bag. Okay, it's this big blue bag of sand. That's got all these like dissolvable chemicals. So you got to go get this big blue bag of sand, dump it all over the throw up and pee, and then you got to stand there and watch it while this sand like literally eats it and turns it into like this like crumpled up potato chips, and then you sweep it up And then yeah, so I'm like, one more day. So here's how I quit. I'm sorry, I'm taking up a lot of time. So the 4th day, I couldn't get used to working at night, so I was like sleepy and all this stuff. I asked this guy, and I was only doing it for the summer because I knew my teaching job was kicking in, but I wasn't getting paid over the summer. So it's just one of those things that I just grabbed. And this guy, I asked him, his name was Robert. I was like, Robert, when do you get used to the sleep? And he's like, I've been here 15 years and I've never got used to the sleep. And he goes, how old do you think I am? I said, 68, 70. I'm 44 years old. And I was like, holy crap, I quit.
Oh my god, that's like the one funny thing in the movie Heat with Melissa McCarthy, where he's like, my own son called me grandpa. How old do you think I am? She's like, whatever. He's like, I'm 43.
Oh, I don't even know that movie. But yeah, he was just, I sat back and I looked at him and I'm like, I'm out, man. I'm out. I came back one more day and I just turned in my badge.
Your badge and your smock.
No,
Yeah.
it's funny because I was an overnight stalker for, let's see, from like April to November.
What company?
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
they
it's
paid
funny.
good. The night team got paid more.
Yeah, 50 cents more. Like,
Oh, I got 6. No, I started at 12 an hour.
well, you're in Florida,
Yeah.
so the cost of living might be different, but sure it equals out. And it's like, you know, yeah, Walmart was not a good experience for me.
No, it wasn't a good experience for me either. That's why I quit in 4 days.
Honestly, that would have kept me. This, you know, it's weird that you were even cleaning up because they have a whole fucking maintenance crew for that, dude. You know, like you could just
No,
keep
like
stocking.
they. So I had 2 rows I was responsible for every night. It was paper products and chemicals. So like the rat poison and all that, like they were next to each other. So if there was a spill in your row, you had to do that. So like that was your response. So if I spilled chemicals, I had to get the blue sand and clean all that crap up. So yeah, so a girl peed in my aisle, like next to the paper products, and I had to like clean it up.
You know, I was mainly left like everyone in the chat at the sand part because you know you're a Star Wars channel, so I'm thinking sand.
Oh yeah,
and I'm thinking like Anakin having to like
Skywalker.
clean up with sand, you know, his arch enemy. So Hoff Solo says, I saw a girl at Walmart a few days ago, and fuck, the chat keeps jumping. I saw a girl at Walmart a few days ago, and she was only wearing those Calvin Klein women's underwear, top and bottom. She wasn't a model, though.
I get what you're saying.
So afterwards, drunk, did you have to take an oil bath and thank the maker?
Oh man, dude. The thing is, and the thing that, so this is what ticks me off the most. Right when you're like trying to get finished with your work, they call this thing called code blue. Did you ever have a code blue, Angus, when you were there? Code blue means everyone's got to go outside and get all the freaking shopping carts that are spread out all over the parking lot and stack them in the thing.
Wait. How long ago was this?
4 years.
4 years ago.
That's it.
Wow. I worked at Walmart in 2016. That was never a thing. We have cart people for that.
Yeah, but not at like 2 in the morning. They weren't there.
No, like we don't fuck with it in the morning. We stock stuff.
Yep. So they called a code. Well, was your Walmart 24/7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Wait. Did you have like a homeless problem where you're at?
Florida. Yeah, there's homeless.
Yeah, that's
people.
yeah. I'm in a suburb of Columbus, so it's not that bad a deal. You know, like I don't think I've seen 10 homeless people in the 3 years I lived in Ohio.
The
like,
homeless people would come in like at 2 in the morning and fall asleep in the camping section.
Yeah, that's not a problem. So that's why you have a culture problem.
Yeah, they'd be like,
problem.
"How's the sleeping bag? Can I test it out?" Sure, sir. I'll let you know in 6 hours when I'm done.
I these socks over here? I really want to try these socks on.
Oh my god!
Pretty much. I mean, listen, people that worked at night did not care. They were like, "There's a homeless guy wearing a shirt. I don't care. I'm trying to go home and get my work done." He can wear all the shirts he wants. So I'm gonna get him Subway so he stays longer, so the manager's got something to do. I mean, that's just where we were at.
Nice.
You know.
No, that's
And that was all in 4 days, bro. 4 days. Imagine if I'd stayed there like for the summer, like the stories I could have.
Drunk. You need to get on World Class Bullshitters because you're a resident of like the worst state for news
I
in the
know.
country. There used to be a thing like
Right.
I would say last year on their thing where it's like guess where this news is from, Florida or anywhere else.
Yeah. All right. So listen, I'm gonna ask everyone in the chat to do something real quick, and the panel too. This is the best. This will be the best laugh of your life, or today. So just go click open the next server and do this too, Angus. I'm curious to see what comes up. Type in your birthday and Florida man. Type in Florida man and your birthday. All right, Florida man and your birthday, and look at the first thing that comes up. You will see what happened, what a Florida man did on your birthday in Florida, and it's like ridiculous, weird crimes that happened.
Yeah, first one, naked attacker shot.
Yes. Oh, now I gotta do this now. Is it
Naked
strange? Is it strange that I kind of want to work at Walmart for a week now? Just for a week.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's.
God.
I hated it. I hated it. I hated it.
Wow. It seems my day doesn't really have any news from Florida when I was born. Is it just my birthday and not the year, or the year as well?
You should throw the year in.
Yeah.
Or you should put Florida man and then like the number / month, or the month / day. Sorry.
Okay.
Mario accused of murder. Hoff Solo.
Let me see.
It's hilarious. I think mine is like naked man mauled by alligator or something like that.
It's a lot of naked crimes in Florida.
Okay, look at this one. Yeah, because it's hot. It's always hot here, so people aren't wearing anything. Parsha of the Sith says, I got Florida man arrested in Winn-Dixie dressed as a ninja.
Wow. So do we put the date first or Florida man first?
I think Florida man. You could try one way or the other.
Yeah, Huff Solo. I hear about Hilltop being a bad place. I think my wife, when she did live in Columbus as a kid, here and there, it was Hilltop. So, luckily, being a big booed white girl, nothing happened to her in Hilltop. But and Sony McInternet Douche says he's walking distance from Columbus. So, shit, we might have to do a in-person stream, Sony McInternet Douche. Yeah, I'm always going to call you the full name. You were so pivotal in our early streams on Rookie Critics channel that I can't go back.
So you didn't get a Florida man, huh, Angus?
No. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not coming up with anything either.
Wait. I got a new date. Not using the year, just the date. This year. Let me go to this article, make sure I get the full title. Milton man hit pregnant girlfriend with bag of tortilla chips over baby's paternity.
Oh my God.
But now let's be honest though, who hasn't done that?
All right. Well, I didn't do the year either, but I got my birthday, and it was missing Florida man says he wants to heal/kill people.
I'm assuming in that order.
Since he believes God and has been saying he wants to heal and kill people. So he's going to do both.
Toxic masculinity has Florida man falls to death off cruise ship during his bachelor party. Oh my God.
At least he never wasted his life.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's like if you got nothing to do with friend, you always do the Florida man challenge. It's like it's pretty funny.
See, still wait, let me scroll up.
Florida's great, drunk, but my state, where I come from, Washington State, has had the most residents of serial killers in history. So we've had the most serial killers live in my state, where I came from, or born there.
Wait a minute.
One less now.
Stone Cold Jeremy says, jury finds man guilty of dismembering father, not murder.
I know.
I'm not creative says my cousin lives in Columbus. Go Buckeyes. Yeah, I don't watch college football or sports. I boycott college. I thought about doing a video about why, but I don't know how I want to like take it, like what angle I want to go at with my sports coverage, especially because it's about college, and it's like, well, I don't watch this. Why would I do the research about it? You know?
Hey, hang on, I got one for the day before my birthday. Florida man tries to run over son who wouldn't take bath.
This is news.
Unbelievable.
Oh, well, on your advice, Snow, I punched in the day before my birthday. Miami
Yeah.
police shoot, kill man eating another man's face. I remember that.
Well, there we
Actually.
go. Yeah, right. I think I remember that one too.
2012. Yep.
Yeah, I was around when that
That's
happened.
I mean,
That's pretty good, Drake. We
I'm
can do a whole stream on this.
I'm not creative says I
It's
heard
funny though,
Seattle,
eh?
I heard
Yeah.
Seattle is the worst. I guess that's for you, Snow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. We had the what's his name? The Green River Killer, and
Oh,
he's got the highest body count.
Have you read the what is it? Graphic novel about that?
No, but I've seen some documentaries, so I know a little bit about it. It was a little before my time. I was pretty young when that happened.
Yeah, there's a so I tell people this. I don't do it as often, but I still try to, especially with Lucasfilm and Marvel. Like entertainment's gone to shit. You need to just backtrack, find Criterion, find Oscar winners, whatever. Find an actor you like and look at their whole filmography. Go to your library. If they don't have it, you can request it through your state. Might take a little bit, but you can find this stuff. Same with not just movies, but graphic novels and comics. I tell people this so they save money. Don't waste it buying like a $30 book at the comic store. Green River Killer was a pretty good graphic novel, and I didn't realize it was
Nice.
close to where you're from. So that makes it
right down the street, pretty much.
I was watching I didn't finish it for some reason. I was watching My Friend Dahmer, which was a graphic novel from someone who went to school with Dahmer and then learned about his shit afterwards. So then it kind of totally, elaborate on perception growing up with him. Like, holy shit, he was doing this like right when like senior year, like holy crap, because there was a Dahmer fan club because he started acting like a tard in school to get attention.
Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, Angus, not to cut you off.
No, go on.
I got a great story. A couple years back, when I was having my little Seahawks rush there, where I was going up and doing a lot of charity and fundraiser concerts for the Seahawks fans. My little 5 minutes of fame with my Seahawks song that I had back then. The one Super Bowl we won, just like the Eagles. Anyway, one night I went up there to celebrate, and we were after a show, and we went to this local bar downtown. And while we were there, it's so old. It had like people's names carved into the wood, right? And this wood hallway that went down to the bathrooms and stuff. And Ted Bundy's name had been carved there. And a matter of fact, he used that spot a lot to scope out girls, back in the day. Well,
who didn't?
Yeah, right. The funny part of the story is, my song was doing really well, and I had a bunch of friends there, and we were all kind of celebrating. Seahawks just had a big win in the playoffs, and they played my music in the bar, and so the whole place was, jumping up and down. And we left that night, and I remember flying on the plane and finding out breaking news that the place burned down, and I started getting this rep. I got this reputation that my song was so awesome that it was such fire. And it burned down the place where Ted Bundy used to hang out. So,
or it was such trash it would malfunction the sound equipment and burn your shit down.
Yeah, it might have been that too. I'm not sure. I don't think they ever played music that loud in 30 years, But it literally burned to the ground. So I got to hang out in Ted Bundy's old hangout spot for the last night ever.
That's gross. Ted Bundy, Florida.
Yeah. But he loved Washington.
So just off side note, the Democratic presidential debate is on. And President, I'm sorry, I hate politics, but Trump just makes me laugh. He tweeted out he just tweeted out one word, boring. It is so funny. I cannot stop laughing at that stuff. Listen, if you love him or hate him, whatever. The guy is the biggest. He is the greatest troll I've ever seen on
He
Twitter,
really is.
ever.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
anyone curious, I follow Trump on Twitter, and
Me
I actually
too.
tweeted at him. I saw something where he tweeted something random, retweet. I'm like, wow, I'm still waiting on a retweet, Donald. Like,
My grandmother, we call her the Graminator. She's 88 years old. She's been a Republican for over 60 years. And she gets all these letters in the mail from all her contributions she's done over the years. And I think I'm going to do a video with her where I have her ask Trump to send her a damn autographed hat for her 60 years of service with the Republican Party.
Well, you know what's
Gets it.
weird is of course their first debate is in Miami, Florida, and they keep over talking each other in Spanish. They want to see who speaks the better Spanish, which I
Of
don't
course.
understand what that means, but
well, they're trying to get the most illegal votes. So
see, now you're stepping on a whole nother topic for another time.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just gonna lay it down. You can pick it up however you want.
Hey, I'm a border state, so we can do this.
Lethal Lang says getting gay in here. Like, of course.
But
it's
when
always
like
gay
it was
on
Beto, he
Angus'
was
channel.
speaking Spanish, and like I didn't understand a word he was saying, and now everyone on Twitter is making fun of him, saying
It's like,
the only Spanish he learned was probably from a box. So,
well, it's like
Dora the Explorer taught him Spanish, and that's all he's got.
it's like way to really market yourself to your voters by speaking a language they don't know.
Amazing.
It's hilarious. We're drunk. It's funny you talking about all this because that's why I had someone in War Campaign make me the Black Angus Honkler for the Teespring and stuff, and for a while on Twitter, because I've embraced clown world, dude. Like, the only recourse nowadays is to just laugh. Otherwise, you're just gonna be pissed off all the time. You're just gonna be gritting your teeth. You're gonna be like holding your fists clenched all the time in anger. If you just embrace clown world, it's no problem. You're like, yeah, that's just the state of things. It's crazy. Maybe Russia will take us over and we'll be fine or something. Like,
Who knows? It's so funny. Like Twitter's going crazy, saying, "Why are these people speaking Spanish? I don't understand what they're saying. They're losing my vote. Blah blah blah." Oh my gosh! So
Wow.
funny.
it's funny you're talking about Spanish. So, who's excited about the live action Dora the Explorer?
I am
Joe.
actually. I am.
Oh, you're up.
I'm probably gonna go see it with like family, with like little ones, a bunch of little ones in the family.
I was never a fan because when I was a kid, we didn't have DirecTV till I was like 4th or 5th grade. So when I first moved in with my stepdad, I was like 3rd grade. And all we had was Saturday morning cartoons, and it wasn't what I grew up with previously before we all got married, with like Fox, WB, whatever, where it was like X-Men, Spider-Man, cool shit. No, it was Dora the Explorer, maybe one episode of SpongeBob, which I liked, and just a bunch of dumb like learning kids stuff, which I was too old for, and Dora was awful. And I've made this analogy. People haven't figured it out yet, but I stand by it. Sorry for the beeping. It's my dryer. It's over.
I gotta say something from the chat here, Angus. Stony,
Yeah.
Stony Mick. I can't wait for Dora to get put in a concentration camp.
Yeah. But no, my mom, she found something to annoy me with for currently still something from Dora the Explorer. I won't say it because then y'all use it for fuel. Y'all can just binge Dora if you want and try to figure it out. You won't figure it out. But yeah, like I always pissed me off because like I was too old for the show when I started watching it. I'm like, it's right there. She's like, swipe or no swiping. I'm like, you're like, the fox is right by you. Why are you talking to me? And shit like that would piss me off. But also, in reality, I've said this. I'm like, this is how you change people's perception. This is the progressive game. You make shows like Dora. Now, whoever made Dora, I'm not saying that they did this particularly, but this is the application you can use. This is the format. When you have something like immigration come up in politics, and of course the Democrats want everyone not American, not conservative, of course, to vote for them. So of course you're going to appeal to the illegals that you're going to give free aid to with tax dollars. It makes sense that you acculturate people. If you're playing the progressive game, which is the long game, you get people familiar and kind-hearted unreasonably towards this outsider culture, like Dora, where they're familiar from childhood and they feel good about it and stuff. And it's like, oh, let's learn bilingual stuff, yada yada. And it's like, well, now those kids watching the show are now voting age, and like they're having this like kind of imprinted on their brain from an early age. And so, it sounds crazy, but I really think Dora is something that maybe the creators themselves didn't make it for it, but people use this or saw some avenue of,
it's possible.
It's a format. It's a format. To say
Yeah. But
where
I
you can
guess
build
I
off
think
of.
I always feel personally that people should leave America once, not leave to live somewhere else. But I think that Americans only 10% of Americans have a passport, which is, to me, I think is terrible. I think people should travel the world and see what the real world is like, and not listen to what is being taught to them on the television about how the world is like. Like this whole thing going on right now with the Dominican Republic is ridiculous. So, I mean, I go to the Dominican Republic all the time. I was at that bar where everybody got sick, and like, so I'm like, it's not what people are saying it's like. It really isn't. And I have good friends that live there. But speaking, I always felt like if you learn like a second language or a third language, you just better yourself
Right.
for your overall. That's just me personally. I mean, I'm not saying it's just that.
No, I get it. I live here in
I just think
Arizona.
I think it really helps you, understand cultures and stuff, because I have some interesting takes on the whole immigration thing that people might be, I don't know if they'd be upset with me or whatever, but
Right.
No, sorry, I'm not creative, says Patrick. What does claustrophobic mean? SpongeBob. It means he's afraid of Santa Claus. Patrick. Ho, ho, ho. SpongeBob. Stop it, Patrick. You're scaring him. I forgot about that. That's why I love SpongeBob as an adult, is the humor is like all ages. It's like Shrek or something. You can laugh at it just because it's a silly sponge and a squid and a starfish doing stupid shit. But as an adult, you can find like all the little nuances of like, yeah, work sucks, especially if you're like, you assume 40 plus working at like McDonald's with all these young dumbasses like SpongeBob.
I
We're
wanted
gonna
to
say,
I want to add on a Drunk's point there real quick about the second language thing, and it's funny because I took Spanish in high school when I lived in Washington, and barely passed. I think I scraped by with a D in Spanish too, and I think I had to take it a second time if I remember right, but I finally passed it. And got that grade or whatever. But when I moved down here to Arizona, I joined construction and got into painting and stuff like that. And a good chunk of the construction trades down here are Hispanic. I would probably say easily 80%. And having the culture and the language around you all the time made me become more fluent in Spanish than I ever thought was possible. So it's funny, once you dip yourself into the culture and you're kind of forced to speak a different language, you pick it up pretty quick. So
yeah,
It
especially when
sounds-
you live
it
in the
sounds
country.
like George Soros has programmed you, Snowdub.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that's. I have a shrine to him in my bathroom. Every time I take a dump, I think about him.
Yeah, me too. Only thing I think of Soros is like, fuck, he's still alive.
No, I love Alex Jones shit. One for the memes, but two, like he's got like you Google his stuff and it's like, holy crap, like this guy's onto something. Like I really feel
Yeah, he's on something.
at least at least 20% is sensationalism. He's taken what works for like Rush Limbaugh, what works for like doom and gloom, hellfire preachers, and put that onto news where it's like, it's coming, people, and he uses a little science stuff. But I feel there's like a at least 50% like good intention, good meaning behind it, whether or not it's real news or not. So I don't know how to feel about him because, yeah, I definitely don't feel how YouTube or Google feels about him, or Twitter, all the social media
Well, they
blocking him.
kicked him out. That's what they feel about him.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, because I would, I remember I looked up his website, the Prison Planet, whatever. And I just picked a random article, and it was about like bird flu killing a lot of people in China. I'm like, what is this? And yeah, so there's like a super bird flu that was concentrated in China, and it was verified. You could look on Google, you'd find multiple medical articles not associated with Alex Jones at all, corroborating this event. It had like a 30+% fatality rate. It was the worst thing since the Black Plague. It was fortunately located just in China, didn't spread. They caught it pretty fast. But it's like, we get a lot of meat from China. People don't realize this. And it's like, fuck, Alex Jones was reporting on this. No one else was talking about this in the news. And so it's like, there's value to what he does. Especially, I think, being deplatformed now, it's like his reputation is more on the line. So I don't know. I at least appreciate an alternate voice, no matter how crazy it is, because
Right.
broken clock is right twice a day. So
No, man. I totally
you
get
find those
that.
gems, yeah.
But that's
And,
why I say go travel and see the world for yourself. You'll experience things. Well, you've
yeah.
traveled. You've been all over, Angus. So
Well, I've only been to Afghanistan and a couple border towns
that's
in
a
Mexico.
perfect vacation resort area. I mean,
No,
the miles
honestly,
and miles and miles of beach property that they have there.
honestly,
Yeah.
I would go back to Afghanistan where I was stationed at. If I could guarantee like at least cool runnings to some degree with like whether the Al Qaeda or Taliban is still there or not, I don't know. But like, hey, I'll be cool with y'all. I'm not gonna fight y'all. Just let me chill and smoke some poppy or whatever. Hang out with your camels, like, make some bread on the fire and shit. Like, I really envy the people from those areas. They live simple lives. They were only worried about real shit, as far as I know. I don't know if they even had TVs. Might have had phones, maybe radios. But yeah, they live pretty simply.
Oh, it's
And
like that all over the world, my friend.
yeah, no,
It's like that all over the world. It's the rich nations that we stress out about so much.
have you I can't remember if I asked you this, Drunk. Have you seen the movie Secret Life of Walter Mitty
Oh yeah, multiple times.
with Ben Stiller?
Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, I really relate to that movie, and I really like that perception of life and stuff. Just like go for it, and of course he's like unmarried and no kids, so he has that fortune of just being able to like go at the drop of a hat. Um, but no, I would love to like go on some life trip like that and just like really find your soul.
Well, you know somebody, man, that you can always go on a trip with if you save up your money and come with me. Can always come.
Oh, speaking of that,
I mean, I'm bringing anybody, man. Like Jesse's coming, and anyone. It doesn't. All people are. If you want to help build some houses for
you're
amazing
talking about
people.
okay, yeah, you're talking about your. Well, I
Yeah,
was
but I
thinking,
go everywhere, dude. We've got stations everywhere. I'm just trying to get El Salvador finished.
yeah, no.
And
I
then
know
once,
you're wanting to bounce to another place after you finish this.
yeah.
No, you made me think though. Me and Ricky were talking about this earlier. Of course, we have it should be in my description, the Fandom Menace Creators Fund. Not dropping shade or anything, but I don't know what's up with Josiah. I think the live stream thing really hit him sideways, so he hasn't thought at all about this fund trying to get him money for his own project, because the fund's supposed to be split between him and Ricky, and I just manage it. But no one's taking notice, and that's fine. If you're not interested, you don't give a fuck. Like, fine, that's fine. I'm not blaming you. If you think the Feminist is just a thing, it's just us, whatever. Fine. But I really think the Feminist needs to legitimize itself to like not just fall to the wayside, be forgotten as like this little blip of naysayers. It needs to be legitimized as like creators saying something, and giving something back creatively to be judged itself. it says what the Phantom Menace Creators Fund is for in the description. The idea is you got Josiah and Rookie Critic. Rookie Critic puts out stuff faster, and he's already got a track record with creating material with the Phantom Menace. Josiah, he's got some on Amazon. You can go to the link and see links and whatnot. But no, another thing I was thinking of is saving up my money to go to what is it? Celebration with Drunk 3PO and Company. And I was thinking, Snow, it's perfect that you're on here. You don't have to agree with it just because you're on stream. Whatever, you can be like, "Fuck you, Angus. I'm not having black people in my house with my Dobermans. They'll go crazy." It's whatever. But you're saying like, "Oh, we're 8 hours from Phoenix." So I was thinking some of my plans in my head immediately. Of course, I could just fly out to LA, whatever, if I save enough money. But I was thinking like, "Oh, maybe if I fly out to Phoenix, we can carpool." Well, me can carpool with Snow if he's going to Celebration. Or if not, if his house is too bigoted for me to come, I'll go out to Washington, meet up with Rookie, drive down in a rental to Celebration. So if you want to fund me and see your money go directly to me, whatever, go to my Patreon link. You can donate that way and get something back in return. But yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking of outside of the Phantom Menace Creators Fund for stuff for the Phantom Menace, being a small tier representative for y'all at the Phantom Menace. Along with Drunk 3PO, I think he's pretty sure going to go.
Yeah, I got all my tickets.
You already got them? Shit. Yeah, I was thinking about this as soon as they said like Anaheim next year. I was like,
well, they're sold out, aren't they?
At worst, you'll have to pay more on eBay. There's always people selling on eBay.
We're still going to go, me and Megs. We already talked about it. We want to plan it out. So even we don't get tickets to go to the celebration, we got tickets to hang out with the Phantom Menace or whatever type of event we set up at the time. So either way, it's going to be a party.
Yeah, we're actually having a Drunk 3PO meet. I have like 30 people wanting to come. So
I can't fit that many people in my car, Drunk.
Yeah, well, I gotta pick. So if like Angus, you really decide to go and all that stuff, we gotta pick a day that doesn't interfere with, I guess, Jeremy's day, and one evening, and we'll just have them all. We'll have everybody come to what local pub and stuff. Yeah.
No, I'm just imagining like the joke's on you, and everyone's going to the Drunk 3PO event is just there to like pie you in the face.
Maybe.
Wait, what? Oh, no, man.
Hey, see you around. I'm not creative.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm not modding
Angus,
well.
I don't know if you're gonna make it. My Dobermans, I gotta calm them down every time we do a stream. They hear your voice, they start going nuts. So we'll see if you make it.
They're like, "Oh God, why is 12 Years a Slave on again?" And you're like, no, it's just Black Angus.
just watch the latest Black Angus video. Calm down.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it big. Like I'm gonna talk to some local bar where we can get food and like just like people are gonna come and we're gonna hang. I'm gonna have like shirts to give out and like I'm gonna do it nice. So
let's do it up. I mean, unless you're trying to just showcase yourself, there, Drunk. But
no, man. Everyone. But I had thrown it out on. I threw it out on Twitter. I was like, "Does anybody want to see Drunk 3PO meet and greet?" And my DMs just blew up. Right. And they're like, "Yeah, give me the day. We're gonna come." And it was like 30 some people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Okay." And then I'm just talking to some of my close friends. I was like, "You gonna go?" Like I was talking to John Talks. I was like, "You gonna go, man? Can you come to my hang out with me on that one night?" And like I'll once we get closer to the day, I was gonna ask all you guys, you gonna be there? So we'll just pick one night and we'll just say we're gonna be at this place and we'll just all be there together.
I'm ready.
John Talks were like, "Well, Drunk, like remember who's who here? I'm John Talks."
Hey, by that time next year, we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh.
Yeah, you never know. He blew up like 10 grand out of nowhere, just bitching about The Last Jedi in the heat of the moment.
I got episode 9 coming, and I'm the new face of Star Wars Phantom Menace. So
I think 9's going to
Just
be a
watch.
gold mine for all of us drunk.
Just watch.
No,
Gold mine
no,
will
no.
be
See, the thing I'm waiting on, Snow, is for
episode
the.
gold mine.
I'm waiting for the post episode 9, the post MCU sucking phase, where everyone just drops out of YouTube and they're like, "Yeah, I'm done." Like, no one cares. No one watches my shit. Like, everyone's just bitching.
Right.
Everyone just quits, and you got the few of us that like stay true to the course because we really care about it,
Right.
regardless of the view count.
Yeah.
And then you'll see who grows up big after that. That's where the real second wave comes from. That's where the bear market.
You don't
after
think my
episode
meet
9.
and greet will do well, Angus? Why you keep laughing every time I bring it
You'll
up?
do fine. You got a great group of followers that I don't know how you cultivate them. You're a natural, you know.
So you wouldn't come?
No, I would totally come.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, you have to get some T-shirts to give away too. Give out all your Pride ones that you didn't sell.
Right. Right. Got boxes
Yeah,
and
I thought
boxes
that
of
would really
those.
go over well. You know, the
Not so much.
It
the
went
Black
under well.
Angus reviews. Yeah, people didn't respond. Like, I'm here pandering to you, fucking gay people, and yet no purchases. What the hell's up? You know, like, what do you
They're all
want?
coming to the gays community, pal.
Look, Kermit the Log. He's coming. Teresa's coming. Everyone's coming to the drunk 3PO. What I want to have though, like this is on a serious note. I want to, like, honestly, if you guys really gonna be there, I really want to make like fandom, like a Fandom Menace shirt with like all our avatars on it,
Oh, that'd
All
be
right.
awesome.
and just
All
give it like I want to make 50 of them and just give them away. You
All right,
know,
here's what
Yeah.
I offer. If I'm at Celebration, I'm gonna call up Jehovah's Witness, maybe a priest, maybe an imam. We'll see how
Okay.
far it goes.
Here we go.
I'll give them the address. Be like, I need some help. I need direction. We're all going to meet at a strip club, and we're going to
Wait,
see
what?
how
Oh,
true
they'll
their
show up
faith
for
really
sure.
is.
Yeah. We'll show up. Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna offer a bunch of selfies with a puppet.
No, of course,
dude,
take
yes,
selfies.
man, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think everybody liked that.
Hey, Snow, you know what? I didn't think of this. I watched recently because I, of course, like I said earlier, frequent my library, and I saw Happy Time Murders at the front section being pushed. So I'm like, you know what? I thought about seeing this in theaters. I didn't. Let me check it out. Let's see if it's Melissa McCarthy bad or if it's actually surprisingly okay.
It wasn't
And
that bad.
yeah, okay, yeah. I was wanting to get your take on it, being a Muppet puppet fan, what have you.
Yeah. Brian Henson is Jim Henson's son, and that was kind of his big coup de grace that he put together. It was the first, F-bomb R-rated having Muppet movie I think we've had in a long time, and it was kind of a shot in the dark. It failed, obviously, with the box office, but I like what he's doing. I like the fact that he's taking risks and trying to go in a different direction than what his old man did. And I tip my hat to him. And hey, Brian Henson, if you're out there, call me.
Yeah, no, it was. It seemed a bit cliche, but I was like the twist of the movie. I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
Right.
That was pretty well played. I think they had the shield of the whole Muppets thing because you didn't know what to expect really because
Right.
they're Muppets, but it's in like an adult world where people cuss and sleep around and shit and go to porn
Yeah.
stores and stuff. So I think they really had a good shield from picking out obvious tropes or guesses or whatnot. Yeah, I would give it a 5 or 6 out of 10.
It was a story, the detective story tracking down the killer thing has been beat to death over the years, and they needed something a little more fresher and different to try and push that type of, puppets uncut and R-rated type of idea. It would have been better as like a space adventure or some kind of tropical, boat ride or something different. The setting was just too normal, too boring, actually. But once you watched it, it had some good little spots in it.
Sorry, have you seen the fuck? What is it? who's that famous? Was it Blackbeard the pirate? I think there's like a Muppets movie where it's like Swervy Man Jensen. You know what I'm talking about?
And there's Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that-
Who
yeah.
is that character where his name kept going and going?
Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't watched that one in years.
I
My
didn't grow
son
up.
liked that when he was a baby. But
I
yeah.
didn't grow up with the Muppets. Didn't grow up with any of that. I grew up with a little bit of Sesame Street. I watched Follow That Bird incessantly.
Hmm.
I love Follow That Bird.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it because I want to say it's probably a good movie on its own merit outside of being a kid or something. But I just
So
want to
yeah,
see. Yeah,
if you
and
sit
there's
down and
little
watch a Muppet
moments.
movie, if you watch a Muppet movie, it has to be Muppets Take Manhattan. I think that's the best Muppet movie out there.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Wait,
was a good
Sony
one.
McInternet Juice Study says Smitter Warman McJagerman Jensen.
You type that in one word.
Well, 2 words, but
Oh, okay.
I can't tell you how mad I was. I mean, I was literally livid when I found out what happened with Jim Henson. You're going to like this story, Angus. I don't know if you know about him and how he died, but Jim Henson died kind of young. He was in his, I want to say, late 60s. And when he died, what it was is he got a cold and he ended up getting pneumonia. And his family was like, "You need to go to the hospital. You know, you're not good. You're not well." And he did the old no. You know, he was very Christian. And he did the whole, "Oh, Jesus will take care of me. I'll be fine. I'll get through it." Well, he kicked the bucket. So I was so angry. I remember at quote unquote God at the time because Jim Henson was not smart enough to take his sorry ass to the hospital and get that ammonia taken care of. So we lost a great one way too early because of just I hate to get on the religious spectrum with you. We can go forever for that kind of thing, but it was just sad. It was sad that he went that route. Thoughts, I guess.
sorry, you're making me. We were just talking today at work. My new boss, we're talking about like snake handling churches and stuff. It's like, you got Google now, so people just Google what the hell that snake is, and be like, yeah, I'm out.
I'm not gonna do that one. No.
And so I'm thinking of that perspective. It's like you realize God gave these doctors intellect. Like I'm an atheist. I speak. Anyone who doesn't know on the channel, anyone here in the chat, my mom grew up Jehovah's Witness. I think there were specific reasons I won't get into. I won't dox her, even though you don't know her. I won't dox her any of her reasons, but it seemed pretty obvious looking back, understanding her life story, why she really grabbed onto religion as a focus. But slowly and surely corroded that faith she had initially corroded. She became Christian from Jehovah's Witness. I don't know if people in the chat consider it the same faith or not. She became Christian, slowly worked through the ranks from Newer Age to Old Age, became Episcopal for a long time, and then they had the gay priest scandal, so he became Catholic. And because of Pope Francis, I became an atheist. But I still value religion. And I've actually struggled with wanting to make atheist videos, not trying to like put seeds of doubt in your head, but just make you think from my perspective and think like, my whole angle is to either make you, fall away because it doesn't make sense to you with how I present it, or make you actually dig deeper in your faith and like, this totally makes sense. Angus just isn't seeing it, or whatever. And I'd be totally fine with that. I just want it to make sense to you. I don't want you to be a blind sheep. That's the problem with any faith.
I'm curious.
I've really struggled with trying to figure out how to present it and not sound like douchey or whatever, and not sound like arrogant, and not like ruin my channel because people are like, he's an atheist. Fuck this guy. Because our side, I think the Snow Dub you see in the chat. Mm-hmm. Our side attracts the Jews people and like the overly conservative people that tie that with their faith. And so it's like, how do you come across this? Because I want to be different. I don't want to just say the same shit to everyone.
Well, I
I'm
will.
curious what Drunk thinks too, because he's been in a lot of different countries with a lot of different religions. I'm sure.
Yep. You want to know what I think about religion?
No, just like what do you think about cultures and their different, you know, idea of what their religion is? You know, 'cause no, you know,
Um,
no
I
religion
have
is the
no
right
shame
way or
in.
the wrong one.
I believe that there's a I I disagree with Angus. I believe that there's a God, and because I've seen too much weird stuff happen. I've seen miracles happen in like the pits of Africa that is unexplainable to me. Whether the
Hmm.
universe just decided to shake and move, I'm not an expert. Religion is was my minor in my degree,
Oh
because
wow,
I'm fascinated by it.
yeah,
So going to Buddhist temples and seeing like voodoo priests and all that stuff. But for whatever it's worth, um, the uh, the teachings of Christ, not necessarily Bible or like church, but like because I think church, I don't know, man. I don't. I think they missed it because when you read like the teachings of Christ, where he's like help people, love people, and then the universe tends to kind of lean in your favor. I
mm,
just seen that too much. Um, I seen that too much in your in like in my personal walk. That's all. So nothing like
yeah,
I'm not trying to like convert or anything, but religion is very big all over the world because people have nothing to live for.
makes
So
sense.
like in China, like when I was in China for a good while, like they try to do away with religion, the government, and they trying to push good, like they want people to study good morals, but they also have the highest suicide rate in all the world
Right,
because people don't have anything to like, they feel like they have nothing to live for because it's communist country, and then basically when you're done with everything they assign you a job and you just kind of work and then you die, like that's it. So they live this whole life like, what is there to do? Like, is this all I have to do?
You know,
So
drunk. It's funny, and I hear the awkwardness from your voice. You and me have talked off air about this, and I know
oh, I'm
you.
not awkward. I
I
don't.
didn't mean to open up a can of
No, no,
worms.
no,
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 no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
dude.
no,
I have no shame. I am who I am, and that's what it
no, no, no.
it is. What
I
it
We
know,
can
I
get back to
know.
Star Wars if you want, man. It's cool.
No, no,
No,
I know.
I enjoy talking about it. Me and Angus talk for hours about this subject.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good subject. Yeah, it's a good one.
that's what I meant by awkward. Is just like I don't know how comfortable you are in public, like right now, saying this stuff. So I was just trying to be, hesitant for you.
Oh no,
Like me, I'm very open on my channel, and it's like if you're too soy to handle different opinions, then get the fuck out of here. That's what my intro is for. If you can't handle porn stars on my intro, then this isn't the channel for you.
Right, true.
Uh,
Makes sense.
and but no, yeah, it's been a real struggle because one of the three of my channel is philosophy, but I haven't done shit since my Pope video months ago before I met any of y'all, because not because I'm afraid to offend people, but it's like, yeah, I don't want to lose traction because once in a while I might cover this, but like 100 people unsub because I said that hurt their fees when the Phantom is supposed to be beyond that, where it's like you have to really say something that uh, reflects your channel for me to leave.
oh,
So
I don't. I mean, look, I am not bashful that like I had something in my life clicked in like serving the poor, and it changed a lot. And of course, a lot of Christians do that. Like missionaries, and they have mission trips and all that stuff like that. So, and I've hosted a lot of trips that came from not just Christians, but Muslims and Jehovah Witness and all those things. So,
yeah,
eh, so just to be around it all and like just kind of watch and kind of see like what's real, like who's real, who's not, and who like who's like crying when they're praying, and then like when they're all done, they head out to the bar and trying to pick up women. You know what I mean? It's like I've seen all that. I've
yeah,
seen it
yeah.
all, man, and it's just
Hypocrites.
oh yeah, dude.
For
It's just like
For me,
And that's every religion, bro. That's
Oh, yeah.
everyone across the board. Like I
Yes.
wasn't just saying that was just Christians, but since 2010, I was leading trips, to other countries to do like humanitarian work with organizations. So a lot of them were religious based, some of them were just volunteers, some of them were this, but you see it all and you just kind of like,
For the record, drunk 3PO could never be a Mormon.
nah,
why not?
the white shirts, man, I'd spill all over them and just,
And you can't drink in that religion, I think, right? You're not allowed to drink.
but
I don't think you can have caffeine in the Mormon religion.
I thought it was.
no, it's the problem is that it's not a problem, but they have different branches, so you could just pick the branch and see that's the other problem I have with like I think church, like you could fit the one that fits your lifestyle, even though when you read like the Bible, Jesus is like, I want you to like disavow your lifestyle and follow me, and it's just like, well, no, I want to do this, so I'll go to that church because they say it's okay. It's just
Right.
it's one of those things. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not
Yep.
criticizing any church because I've seen a lot of good come out of a lot of things, but I've also
Yeah.
seen a lot of ugliness. But
Yeah. So this gets me to a point I wanted to discuss.
like, oh, can I share something real quick? And then I'll let you go. Like Teresa Martin's in the chat. She had a prayer service on a live stream. On her live stream, she was
Yeah, I
praying for
caught that.
Anna and all that, and I think she's
Okay.
even praying for Megs and stuff. And like,
Yep.
I just listened, and to hear how sincere she was, and to
Right.
like you can hear it, and it
Odin
meant
did too, actually.
it meant a
Odin
lot
did it
to
on the
me.
stream.
Oh, I didn't hear Odin's, but it meant a lot
Yeah.
to me to sit here and listen to Teresa as she went, as she was, I don't know, it just felt real to me. Like,
Mhm.
and there's moments where you're around that and it's like, this is real. And then there's moments around and you're like, this is a show. So I appreciate, like I told her, I was like, hey, I appreciate that, Teresa. Like I don't quite understand it all, but whatever you did, I appreciate it. So just
Yeah, it
keep
was
doing what
awesome.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Anyway,
support's
sorry,
always
Angus. I didn't mean to step on you, brother.
Yeah, this has been and I might release it, I don't know, later in the year or something. But personally, I've come to the realization that so I was I'm not like a deep philosophy guy. I haven't been in crazy classes or anything and really excel or anything. I was in one philosophy class in college so far. Philosophy of like Western religions was like Christianity, Judaism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. So it's all, rooted in the God of Abraham. And I was really bored initially. I was like, fuck, I'm in this Western religion class. I wanted to learn shit from the East, stuff I don't know. And but I still learned stuff, and I learned perspective, even being an atheist, where it's like, oh wow, you were in the course over forgiveness, and it's like, wow, you look at forgiveness from 5 different angles, doesn't quite work if it's God doing it, stuff like that. That wasn't what turned me. I was already on the path, and that just accentuated, I guess, being an atheist. But I value religion. I think clearly, and sorry if I step on any toes in the chat or people that come in later, but you look at the East in the Middle East with Islam, you look at the West with Christianity, clearly one has done more for society than the other. That's me being an atheist. I don't have a side to really pick despite growing up with one. You think I would want to jump on the Islam train, but no. They clearly, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed out that after their radicalization in the, 1300s, they've only had one Nobel Prize winner compared to I think 25 plus Jews, despite their small size in the population of Earth. So clearly, religion can accentuate scientific and mathematic whatnot, scientific understanding. So I see that value. I see that societal value. I see Christianity accentuates individualism intrinsically. Despite the societal, the family life it tries to push, the culture tries to push, it's all about the individual. It's all about your journey with God. Other religions say this, but it's really about the collective. And so that's why you see in the East, communism really works well long term, or something close to it. So yeah, and that's giving you some perspective from how I see it. I'm not some libtard where I'm like, oh, Christianity, because I'm an atheist, they're just completely awful, like DNA, genetics, whatnot, things that attribute to atheist reasoning later on in life is from Christian scientists. But I've thought about this video for a while. I don't know how to come across it, how to deliver it to you, the audience. I see The Last Jedi as a Christian versus Judaism type of heresy, where you have Jesus, all right? Jesus is the fulfillment. He's the Messiah of the Jewish prophecies, if you're a Christian. But if you're a Jew, he's a false prophet. He's a false Messiah. He's a grifter. He's not the fulfillment. He's just someone that, fools you. And that's a clear line in the sand religiously. The Last Jedi is that for Star Wars. If you can separate religion from, sci-fi and whatnot, and see the similarities of like positioning. There's this push from the SJWs, from the Last Jedi fans, that sees Last Jedi Luke as, yeah, he's clearly the same person. He's the fulfillment, like his character is the fulfillment of what we've seen before. It totally makes sense. And we the old guard, the Phantom Menace, we're the Jews, quote unquote, in this scenario. We see The Last Jedi as a complete heresy, a complete retconning or what have you of Star Wars. And I think film and entertainment have become a religion. Think how much it affects our lives every day. We think about it. We think, like, what am I going to watch on Netflix, compared to our forefathers 50 years ago, where it's like maybe they get 2 hours of entertainment in, if at most, to the end of the day, before maybe some news at the end of the night, and then nothing. They just go to bed for 6 to 8 hours. Entertainment is like 50% of our lives now. Even at work, you might see something blank, you got to exit out. And so I like to get y'all's thoughts in the panel about this perception I have of this kind of like heresy with Star Wars, and how it reflects beyond that with entertainment, where it's a new secular religion where we're fighting for our heroes and what our kids are getting, where it's like, these are the ethos you're getting from fiction. This is our mythology. Whether it has a real intrinsic value or not, it's something that guides you in the present. Start with Snowed Up.
Oh, gee, me first? Okay.
If you can.
Yeah, no, love to. Let's see. Sorry, I got an ambulance in the background, if you can kind of hear that. Trying to get away from it.
That's
But basically, I would like to add, as far as the whole religion conversation there, just a little side note. I'm not going to get too much into my view of it, except that I would love for the religion as a whole to stop creating so much conflict, i.e., wars. Certain religions feeling that other people of other religions need to die. I am very tired of seeing that. Now, whether that means extinguish all religions together in order to achieve that goal, I'm willing to go that route, but I don't know if that's the answer or not. We may not find out in our lifetime or the next few, obviously, but that's just my little snippet to that. But as far as The Last Jedi goes, man, you look way too deep into a shit-ass movie. My bigot. But no, I really think that you're right. They are kind of stealing away what we have kind of intrinsically, like you said, wanted to pass on to our sons. Like in my instance, I have a 9-year-old, and I was passing on the religion, quote unquote, of Star Wars and how I knew it, and I am your father, and the whole lore of it all. And for my son, being raised on the prequels and the originals, and then going in as a fresh new mind and seeing The Last Jedi. And The Force Awakens deterred him a little. He didn't like the fact that Han Solo was killed off. I don't think anybody did. But he was still on board, like a lot of us were, for the next movie. And just like him, a 9-year-old mind could process the fact that his hero had been completely butchered cinematically. And he literally turned his back on the quote unquote religion of Star Wars. And it was sad to see. He still plays with his lightsabers once in a while, but he don't plug in Star Wars movies every day like he used to. And it brings a tear to my eye.
Mm. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son is named Lucas. It was a compromise name because I wanted something kind of crazy. My wife wanted a bunch of like shit that reminded me of being from Southeast Oklahoma with the dumb country names. I'm like, that is not happening. So we compromised on Lucas because I love George Lucas and she likes Luke Skywalker light side shit. So it was a good name, and I thought like, oh, this will be great. Star Wars is coming out, and then first 3 minutes of Force Awakens, I felt something was just totally off with the pacing and the comedy. But overall, I liked it, and I was kind of back and forth like, this is the worst movie, this is the best movie, whatever. But Last Jedi happened, and it's like, wow, this is awful. And me not being an original trilogy fanboy, I was just like, this is wow. What did they do? I can't imagine being like a Solo fan, a Leia fan, what have you.
Or growing up with it.
Yeah, like, God, I feel really bad. 'Cause I'm a prequel fan, so luckily, despite my anger that they've ignored me, part of me is happy that they have ignored me in my fandom. They haven't really touched my lore of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yet. But I've said this, I'm like, the one thing I'm interested in with the new Star Wars products is Rise of Skywalker. Fallen Order, it's a white boy with a black female Jedi leader, master. Expect some white guilt from there, some male privilege guilt from there at some point. If they don't, I'm surprised. With Clone Wars, the dialogue used from season 5 in today's Disney with Captain Marvel, expect Ahsoka to be a hero. And with The Mandalorian, I haven't had enough context, and I just don't care. It's like with Return of Sky, with Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, all right, I'm already exposed to the soy. I already expect it. I'm not surprised. So anything they do outside of that, I'm like, ooh, this is cool. So yeah, it's my state of things. I'm just ready for Star Wars to die, let Lucas's memory last somewhat. But yeah, my son being named Lucas, it makes my collection on my wall, despite it being almost completely prequel. I still get up and I see that Star Wars title on my products. I'm just like, I just want to fucking burn this sometimes, like, because my son's name is forever, regardless of anyone else knows this. I know I named my son because of Star Wars, and they've tainted that memory. They've tainted that intention.
That's a deep wound, Angus.
So yeah, despite the lack of original trilogy fanboyhood in me, it's the maker that's attached to it. So it's like, oh god, they've and when people don't get it, I'm just like, don't talk to me, just get away from me, like. Red Gaze, your thoughts?
As well, I mean, you brought up them not really tainting the prequels just yet, but everybody's really happy about the Clone Wars coming back. I say tread lightly, because you're giving them a chance to really put their penis in the ass of your prequels with that one. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, as far as like the religion stuff goes, I find it intriguing that a lot of people will completely denounce religion, but at the same time, they'll just take up something else as their religion, like you said with Star Wars and whatnot, like climate change, like veganism, like they'll get into these things, and it'll be like it'll all consuming, as if they were a religious zealot about that that subject. So I don't know. I mean, whether people claim to be religious or not, as far as God's concerned, I think everybody finds something to become a zealot about. And that's really, I don't know, it's really what it's about, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, this is another video I've been thinking of. Aside from the Star Wars, aside from the pop culture larger aspects. I offered this in my philosophy class, and my teacher was very interesting. His angle, I asked him specifically what he was trying to do in philosophy. He's like, well, like the number two, it's not really a thing, but it has an existence despite it not being like tangible. Like the number two is a thing. And so he was very into like metaphysical physics and shit. It's just like, what the fuck, So no, it's very interesting. And I offered him like, yeah, do you think like film? This is before I really got deep in the Phantom Menace. I was like, do you think film is becoming like a religion? And this is before I even thought of Star Wars at all. And so it's only been accentuated because of his like kind of thumbs up, like yeah, film is or football or whatever entertainment has become a religion. And you look at how much you spend your time with it compared to what our forefathers did in a short amount of time, existence wise, is for humanity. Like we've gone so far now that like our brains aren't catching up. So this is where a lot of the mental illnesses are coming from, where it's like, oh, this is made up or this is crazy or whatever. It's like, yeah, before we had a progression, it's like, oh, we made one invention. That one invention kind of just sits in Earth life. Now it's like 30 plus inventions a day kind of change your life.
Yeah, and most of them don't work properly.
Yeah, and so they're always improving. It's just going beyond, beyond. And like our bodies aren't evolving fast enough, like if you look at your wrist and I'm trying to think how to explain this maneuver, but if you like flex your hand, like your fingers going back towards your forearm, there's a tendon in your forearm. That tendon is, of course, similar to other primates because we swing in trees. Humans don't swing in trees anymore, so it's slowly genetically fading away from existence. This tendon that sticks up in your wrist when you flex your hand.
Yeah, but now we're always looking at our phones, so that might bring that back, right?
No. So our eyes should be getting bigger given the amount of information we're absorbing from computers and screens. That's one of the guesses. Along with we should be going balder. Men and women both. We should be going balder because of our existence, our lack of exposure to the elements. Weird stuff like this is very interesting. But yeah, we're our brains and what we're making is faster than the evolution should allow. So this is the crazy state we're in. And this is what I think about with entertainment. It's like it's a new religion. You're fighting the SJWs where it's like, yeah, we should just totally make everything malleable, blah, blah, blah. It's very reflective. You think I'm crazy. Some of y'all might think I'm crazy with the religion comparison of Star Wars.
Well, no, you're not. I mean, you look at it, it's like a digital crusade that's happening right now.
Yeah, not only the culture war, but you think of like the Constitution or the Catholic Church has gone through this, and they're still going through this. Me being an ex-Catholic, there's a book I thought about using as the gateway into my philosophy videos. One, why I'm not Catholic anymore, and then two, kind of my own thoughts with it. There's a book called To Change the Church, and it's about this convert to Catholicism who's he's still devoted. He's still devoted to the papacy despite his questions, at least as a human looking at it, where it's like, this Pope is crazy. And of course, I saw Pope Francis. I'm like, okay, that's my sign that the Pope isn't infallible. He's a man. He can manipulate it. He's figured out how to do it without breaking the rules. So yeah, we kind of have a difference of opinion from his same work of art. He sees it and he's like, these are my problems, but I still believe in it. I see it, I'm like, this is everything I've had a problem with that I didn't have words for, but this is why I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, Catholics are something special.
Yeah, and how would I put it? In the Catholic Church, you have this argument that's kind of reflective of the Constitution that some people think needs to be very centralized government, that everyone says dress right, dress with the main church. And other people think each country, each province, each county kind of has their own feel of the people, and their church do this and been this way and that way because of their culture. It's like, Well, it's like God tells people something and it should fit everyone. It's kind of what we're going through, where it's like the SJWs kind of have this like wishy-washy, fits here but not there perspective, and in entertainment, it's like, well, no, this is what makes you a fan of blank. It's kind of hard to directly transpose, but it's very similar. It's weird, but yeah, there's definitely a clear culture where we're fighting with our heroes, and what allows you to make them, and what parameters, with like quote unquote soy, if you will, like Ironheart or something. Um, but no, there's just there's the whole like living will versus like traditionalism. That's really what it is. In Catholic Church, you have traditionalism in the book he explains, and then you have like the liberalism entering the church, and you see it in Europe. Catholicism has died for the most part, unless you get to like the East, perhaps within this Eastern, so it might as well just be Orthodox. They stick to it. They follow what the Vatican says, compared to the liberal churches have fallen prey to what the SJWs want. Like, oh, who should judge gay people? Like, come on, priest, come on, pope, whatever, and they've fallen prey to it, and then no one goes to church because it becomes more relativism. Me as an atheist, I see a problem with that. There's certain things where it's like, it's not even about religion. It's just like intrinsic to the survival of humanity that you pick certain lanes to stay in. And if you jump out of them, where are you going? Then it becomes pointless.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily become pointless. Sometimes you just kind of find yourself. You know what I mean? Like for example, I was raised Lutheran. And I got no beef with that, but as I grew up, I kind of went through a phase where, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call myself atheist, maybe more agnostic, but I've kind of come back to religion because I've seen some shit too, like the whole, like Drunk was talking about earlier, like you be kind and kindness comes back to you. I see that all the time, but I've fallen out of organized religion. What I found is organized religion is basically the devil. And it's just, I don't know. It's like groups and cliques and bullshit where I don't know, I find more peace just by myself,
Yeah, no, it's weird. That kind of goes back to like the whole, I really feel like you see the West versus the hugest divide between East and West is individualism. In the West, it takes hold easy. In the West or in the East, it's like collectivist thinking. They think, how does what I do reflect on my family or on my culture, on my people, on my government? That's not a bad thing. It's just like how we're enculturated, and there's a clear divide. And so it's really hard. And you see this in like psychological, sociological studies and whatnot. That like the East and West, there's a clear divide, and it kind of reflects the governments, and I think bigger part the religions. So you see why communism worked in the East compared to the West. It's like, yeah, that's just not gonna fly because you touch my guns, you're dead, buddy. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't touch my guns, and you don't touch my Doberman.
Bigots!
Run, Angus, run!
Here, show him, Angus. Show him, Angus.
19K Fox says, half white, all privileged. Talking about.
Yeah, that was funny.
Angus.
That's me.
He heard Angus's voice. He came upstairs.
People talking about how the Democratic convention, which I didn't even know was going on because that's how shitty the Democrats are now that I don't even see them on my Twitter.
Yeah, I'll just watch
the highlights.
They're apologizing. It's an apology tour of like, I'm sorry. No, I'm more sorry to the, indentured people that aren't indentured because it's America,
Bishop. Sit.
Yeah, no, this is the thing I've had. Okay, so you might some of y'all in the chat might hear I'm an atheist, so you think I'm some libtard. I think abortion's fine and dandy because I don't have a god or whatever. No. I'm super anti-abortion with the secular argument because I grew up Catholic, and so we learned secular arguments. And then I read this book called Sex Effect, which talked about different ways sex has affected random parts of life, like cornflakes, for instance, because this weird vision of Christendom and whatnot from the cornflakes guy and whatnot. One of them was one point was China. China had the one birth policy, and it's become so indoctrinated in the culture that now no one wants to have babies after the first one. So they're trying to figure out how to incentivize women in China to have babies to make up for all the lack of Chinese women.
Well, I was over there last year for a good while, and their ratio's all messed up.
Yeah.
So they actually have like twice as many boys as there are girls, and they only lifted the ban for 2 kids. So if you have a third one, they still want you to either have an abortion or you donate. It's really sad. You donate the child to like a work program, and they have like an apartment complex filled with children that like do slave labor over there because they're the third child. And the only way you can keep a third child is if you have money. You have to pay like a giant tax thing. Like it's basically like you adopt your third child.
Yeah.
And then the other option is you can give your third child to like an aunt or uncle that only has one child, or something like that. And it's really screwed up. It's really bad.
No.
So
This
and
is
then like this is, and the stats are all off. There's not enough women for guys. So
this is awesome that you have the insight. So yeah, like just me reading, giving this perspective, like regardless if the universe is if existence is completely like a nihilist void, like nothing really matters. It matters in the present. It matters like I'm living. I don't want to hurt. It doesn't matter if like in the end my metaphysical existence doesn't really amount to shit. In the present, I feel something. So don't hurt me. That's how I feel. That's how I see things. And secularly, being Catholic, you kind of have this vision, but they didn't go deep into it. They didn't give me the Chinese example. So I expect when me and Drunk are grandparents that, and SNO and Red Gaze as well, that we'll find Chinese examples if we look for it that point out, like, yeah, like Vietnam has kind of infiltrated China in some cultural way because there's way too many swinging dicks in China now because all the aborted girls in China because of this one birth abortion policy they've had. And so they've had to import Chinese, Thai, Laotian, Cambodian. They had to import wives from, in their view, essentially the Mexico of Southeast Asia. They've had to import lesser people, if you will, to fill the void for missing women. And so I wouldn't doubt that China has some sort of kind of Muslim Middle East equivalent of like gay culture where it's like, yeah, I'm straight, but it's prison rules. We gotta make do with boy pussy. And so you got that culture that might be there. And of course you got the let's import wives because we need women to breed. And so those women, of course, are from poor countries. They send the money back to Vietnam and shit. So you have kind of money equating itself over time, where it's like you never know if Vietnam might become more prevalent a culture than China at some point, or what have you. And so you have this weird influx and stuff. You have this devaluation of people here versus there. This is an example of why abortion's corrosive to society because it kills society and lets, whether Vietnamese or Laotian, whatever, is more valuable or less valuable long term with what they bring to the table. Doesn't matter. It's potentially corroding Chinese culture. And so you see that potential there. In America, at some point, I assume, because Mexican people are generally poor, they're from more religious families. I wouldn't doubt that at some point, given the birth rates of Americans, that Mexicans coming into America start having more children, therefore having more say in the culture. Whether that's good or bad or not, you don't know, given whatever they want politically. But that's an example for me for abortion just being corrosive and stuff. That like it destroys cultures, it destroys continuity. What are y'all's thoughts on the panel?
Well, to tie this
that
all
was pretty deep,
together,
man.
yeah. Go ahead, John.
I'm sorry, like that was pretty deep. So, and sadly, I have to go because I have to go to sleep. But man, I'm not a woman. I don't know, man. I always lean on the pro-life side of things. So it's seeing it firsthand. I mean, it's a lot. That was a lot, Angus. You just gave a lecture at a college.
Yeah, this is for anyone curious. This is what goes through my head of some of these topics. Like, I don't just think like I'm for this because parent said blank or whatever, or politician said, like, I don't know who the fuck, like, I'm in Ohio, I'm not even registered yet. I'm going to register Republican, and I've gone in detail why, with Ricky Critter, why I'm going to register Republican. Aside from just the ability to vote more longer term in primaries. Yeah, this is like my line of thinking. I think not even like being pompous. Like I just think way too deep than other people. Like, yeah, I picked Clorox because it has a tracker, and I'm like, oh, like I heard this and that, and I saw this thing on Alex Jones, and I saw this from a YouTube video, and like.
And that's how it was. Well, you crazy people, y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
It's 11 p.m. where I'm at, wherever you got, and I have to. Yeah, I usually get up around 6, so 5 or 6 o'clock.
Right on, drunk. Well, thanks for joining us, but
even when I'm on vacation, dude.
Yeah,
The thing is, I actually love Angus's streams, and don't clip this, but like more than others, because he was not afraid to talk about things like this, while others are just Marvel and Star Wars, and after a while, I'm like, yeah, this is where I stand on Star Wars, and that's that. But it's just it's nice to hear other people's thoughts process and reading the chats and stuff about Star Wars will always be around, but it's at the end of the day, it's still technically entertainment. But people dealing with religious issues, abortion issues, and our cultural stance, it's like that stuff is a lot deeper in my personal opinion. Seeing enough suffering in the world, it's everywhere, and just hopefully that these kind of talks will shed a little light on why we believe what we believe, and why we can make a difference in the world, whether you go to church or not, or whether you like this or not, or whether you vote this way or not. And it's just I that's just how I've always, like, the past 15 years, I've always felt that we can make, if we all just did little dents in the world, then the world would be a lot better looking for it. I don't know if that makes sense.
You know what, Kermit? Or sorry,
perfect.
I saw Kermit in the chat.
I see how it is, man.
I agree.
Blue, not green. Blue.
Of course, I don't want to lose subs, but it's like I want to say more than just like, hey, here's the news article, let me read it to you. Like, you can fucking read yourself. Like, I don't think you're retarded, so like,
You
I don't
might
do that
be
shit
surprised.
unless it's like very to my ambitions or my interests. Like, I try to give you something real. Like, anything I put up, it's me, and anything I don't put up, it's just like, I don't know how you're going to take it on, if you're going to get triggered and just leave and not like hear something. So that's the only fear I have, is just Not that I'm afraid of the
Yeah,
subject.
but I think we present it in a way where people can think about it, or they agree with it, or they're like, I don't lean that direction, but we're still all together in this whole thing. Like everyone who donated to Meg's GoFundMe, I mean, I'm pretty positive that the thousands of people that gave, we disagree on almost on 50% of the stuff
Right.
but we could still come together because that's just who we are. Like
Yeah.
we want to see the world and people in a better place. And just because I go to other countries and build home, I mean, it's just, to me, like people like will say, oh, you're such a good, and I don't hate it, but I'm kind of like, there's thousands of other people that do the same thing, and so it's just kind of like, when you get into a habit of doing good for others, you don't see it as like standing up on the pedestal. You get what I'm saying? Like, you should just form habits of helping people. Like that's just
That's why I keep
Right.
saying you the man, drunk. I know you hate it when I say that to you, but I say it all the time. You the man. So, and there's a reason I say that, because you set a nice bar for everybody else to kind of look to and say, hey, why not me? Why not me? So, I
yeah,
tip my hat.
exactly. Oh, I
Tip my hat.
thank you. And now that Lethal's here, I got to run because I think he's gonna beat me up. No, Lethal, love you, buddy. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
All right.
I'd never beat up a robot. I'd never beat up a robot. A
No, I
woman,
know, I
yeah,
know.
maybe, but a robot, no.
Now it's really gonna happen. Here we go.
I don't believe that for 1 second, Lethal. Not one.
No. I've always said the only times you should lay a hand on a woman is to protect yourself or if it's a consensual sex act.
No, I was
Yeah.
referring to
Hey.
the robot.
Hey, real quick, I got sidetracked with my deep shit that I think about all the time. One thing I was gonna say about being Republican or what have you, like I plan to register Republican because I feel it has the most reasonable, regardless of certain individuals in the party, the platform is the most freedom within reason of being in a society with multiple people and having to make concessions. I would love to be libertarian, but it's too fringe. We're in a two-party system in America. But it's funny talking about abortion because it's weird that the liberals at the SGWs, whatever, they're for, yeah, let's be feminists and have like 2-3 abortions so we can be a feminist, let's make our mark. And yet they're against the death penalty with people that have lived and chose their acts in life, and yet they're against them being done away with and not breathing air that we breathe, purposely hurting people when they're for babies. What, regardless of what you think of like life is started, like the only way you have a baby is from sex and an egg and a sperm hitting each other and developing. That's where a baby comes from. It's not going to turn into a peanut. It's not going to turn into an elephant. It's going to be a person. They're for that being killed, but they're against war. They're against guns, killing people. They're against death penalty with people choosing to commit acts. It's very warped in my opinion. You can be conservative and be for the death penalty, which I'm not for. I think you should serve a life sentence and suffer and think about what you've done. Yeah, that's my stance on all that.
Yes.
Loosely.
You may only kill the helpless in a controlled environment. Otherwise, killing is wrong.
It's very warped. They're against war when it's like that's the perfect birth control. It's the perfect like population control is like mass slaughter, mass like storms and whatnot, whatever, wars like that. That's population control. Unfortunately, that's how it works. Like it's like the forest burning itself and starting up again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so to tie it all together, The Last Jedi fucking sucked.
Just to bring it full circle.
Lethal, it's great to have you on. Sorry, Snow. I know this is all about you, but me and Drunk kind of took it over.
Whatever. Hey, I just wanted to throw a quick mention out. I think Anna went live. That's why the chat might be fluctuating a little bit, but still no word on finding her sister. So still looking for her. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt with that.
No, that was good. No, it's truly, it's about you. I've gone longer than I thought I would, and I'm enjoying it.
That's not the first time you
That's
said
what
that,
she
is it?
said.
No, I got sidetracked too because between me and drunk and stuff, and someone, James Hamilton, DJ Odyssey, tweeted at me at Angus Reviews, and it's just a picture of a, I guess a claymation or a pottery or something of. I've seen this before. It's of Kermit licking.
Uh-oh.
It's of. I'm not going to show it, but it's a Kermit licking Miss Piggy's ass, and I'm like, I see nothing wrong here.
I love Kermit. I love Kermit. The PMS show is probably my favorite show on YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah, Kermit, I fully support you. I saw that on Twitter. I'm sorry you lost your live stream. I don't know why, but I love you live streaming.
Well, it's probably because he was licking Miss Piggy's ass.
Yeah, he was doing it live.
hey, that's just sex education, you know.
Pork chops live. You know, everybody thought it was a cooking show.
He forgot to
Where
hit it
else
with
are
the
you gonna
mature
learn how
content.
to eat a pig's booty hole? That's like some like really undercooked bacon.
Yeah, that
Oh.
sucks for me and my other fellow puppet, because we have what we call the Ribbit and Bigot show that we've been doing Saturday nights, and that's why he lost his streaming abilities, is because we were actually showing movies. We showed Toxic Avenger 1 on my channel, and that I didn't get a strike or nothing, but they did block the video where nobody could watch it. But Kermit, he showed Toxic Avenger 2, and well, lo and behold, he got his streaming ability shut down. So we may need to rethink the Ribbit and Bigot show going forward. So,
Well, they're obviously racist against green frogs.
a little
People in the
bit
chat,
and blue puppets.
people in chat, like, I am intoxicated if you can't tell, but like I say this stuff sober, but I usually just keep it from stream. But this is how I think, and you know, you can tweet me later, like, hey, I didn't like what you said or whatever, but like, I'm up for discourse. If you want to come on a stream and debate the stuff, I have free time. Come on, you know. Tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm right. You know, it didn't come up with Jesse Milestone, but I know her and Josiah had differences. Josiah's a Christian. I'm an atheist. Me and him agree a lot on stuff that me and Jesse don't agree on. I'm all up for discourse, and that's what the Fanlist is for. You know, the only thing that links us is Last Jedi hate. So don't.
Not even that. You know, there's a few of us that actually don't mind the movie. They're just over the bullshit.
Yeah. God, I don't know. It's just I'm really scared. Like, the reason I talk about this stuff at all is because, like, I have a son. You know, my wife. She just came home. She doesn't get it. She's like, don't tell me this stuff. Like, I love Disney, blah blah. And I'm like, Disney is it's Big Brother. It's turning into Google in 1984. It's scary shit. And
Yeah, but she sees the bunny rabbits and the birds. That's what she means when she says she loves Disney. She doesn't mean she loves fucking Satan.
Hey, Bruce Lombardi says, hey,
It's all good until she goes up to you and says that you start representing the patriarchy and her room is full of Captain Marvel posters. That's when there's an issue.
Yeah, then
know-
you want to worry.
You know, Lethal, she actually, I don't know if you were on that stream, but she she went to Dollar Tree and she found some Captain Marvel stickers for me, and I got them somewhere in my room here in my office. I'll have to find them. And I thought about, like, you know, I thought about doing like a long video of just using the Captain Marvel pictures and like putting on a toilet brush, scrubbing the toilet, and maybe making a sandwich with one and like eating Captain Marvel, showing my.
Do you know that there's a Captain Marvel oven mitt and fuck, what is it? What is it you wear when you're cooking? You put it around, you tie it around your apron. That's the one. You can get a Captain Marvel apron that comes with an oven mitt.
Oh.
Higher, further, faster.
As long as the bitch is cooking, I don't care.
I got to head back to work. My lunch break is over, so I'll leave the drunk racist alone to his rants.
Well, that was quick.
Lethal's always quick.
She said that too.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. I'll talk to you all later, all right?
All right, much love,
Cool.
Lethal. Thanks
Later,
for popping in.
Yeah, keep it up, gents.
Hey, really. Hey, throw a shrimp on the bobby.
Hey, everyone, go sub. If you haven't, go sub to Lethal Lightning. He's got some good content.
That poor guy's been waiting to get monetized for what, a year now?
About going on 6 months, I think.
Oh, that poor guy. Yeah, he's mad about it, and that needs to happen. That's for sure.
They should be mad about it. It's nonsense.
Definitely.
Wow, I gained a sub. I don't know where it came from, but
How
hot
about
diggity.
that? That was Kermit's other account.
Yeah, right. That's great. Classic gold. I love Kermit. He's a good puppet. He's really been a big help to my channel, being one of my mods. So thanks, Kermit. You the man. You the frog.
Kermit's awesome. I love the PMS show, so I'm glad that's not going away so far.
Nobody said the Ribbit and Bigot show is going away. We just might have to change the premise a little.
Reformat.
Yeah.
So
we'll still try to have some titties.
I was just about to say, don't switch to porn because that's not going to help.
Right. Yeah, our view count will really drop if we take the titties away. So we still got to figure that out.
How about puppet titties? You got any puppet titties?
I don't, but I think I might be able to make some. When I get a little bigger, I'll get a craft shop going, and we'll have some fun.
Beats the meth lab, right?
Cyborg Valkyrie. Still waiting on my monetization. I'm within my first month, so we'll see. I don't know, but your viewership helps me sustain the view time to make me look a little better for them. So we'll see.
Kermit just ordered Miss Piggy on Amazon for real.
For reals.
We got some real pork chop action now. I'm excited.
Is that like a mail order bride?
Not sure how that works.
Snow, what's some oh shit, we got Mandy Summers in here as well. Snow, what's something else we want to talk about?
I guess there's probably a couple people that have popped in the chat wondering how the sister's doing. She just got home today. She's been resting, she really just needs a good night's sleep if possible. Of course, they gave her weak drugs for serious pain, but that's typical for a hospital. So she's bearing through it, but definitely excited, for the next level. And I believe we got an invitation to come on back to Geeks and Gamers, so I know she's really looking forward to doing that. So hopefully we'll be seeing ourselves back on there again soon, and get a nice another plug from Jeremy, man. He's been helping us out a lot. Appreciate it. Even more than you lately, Black.
Oh,
thanks.
Fuck
all the streams you've been on. Fuck
I really appreciate your lack of effort, asshole.
Still my favorite bigot.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's what you get for showcasing a bigot.
right.
Not good enough. That's real SJW tactic right there. Oh, speaking of SJWs, like when I go on my lunch break, I usually just sit in my car and have lunch. But I checked my Twitter and I checked the news going around on Twitter, and Camino. Have y'all seen this?
Camino.
Yeah. So Kim Kardashian released a new underwear line called Camino. It's a play on her name, Kim, and all these supposed Japanese descent Japanese Americans are like, this is problematic. You're using, you're culturally appropriating my culture. And I'm like, I tweet out something like, you people, Japanese people, literally channeled the Hiroshima Nagasaki bombings into one of the most iconic characters in sci-fi, Godzilla, given your pain as a country. And now the descendants of those people are crying about someone making a clothing line.
Well, it's not called kimono. It's called Camino, correct?
Well, that's like tomato, so I don't know.
No, it's Kimono Camino.
I mean, it's not Camino like Star Wars. It's Camino,
Right.
But it's like, oh my god, like before.
Now, does that underwear only fit fat asses?
Kind of like apple bottom jeans.
Right.
I have no idea, but it's like, if anything, that will like people will search that, and then they might see something Google search like, oh, order Camino. No, they're just crying about Kim Kardashian, and it's really just because Kanye is somewhat friendly with Trump or something. This is really the origin, because you had MAGA Kanye before, so he's got whether it was just a PR stunt or not, he temporarily at least associated with Trump. So I think that's really the origin of all this. But
I can see that because it's not very often, honestly, you actually see Asian people bitching about cultural appropriation.
yeah, honestly, I love watching Crowder videos because he talks to people like the wage disparity of races, and it's like, oh yeah, but Asian people make more than white people. And they're like, oh. They don't know how to come across that because it's a minority. It makes more.
Yeah, Asians are often the dirty little secret nobody wants to talk about because they're so successful.
Yep. The Filipinos actually have the most wealth out of any race in the country.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait till someone uses like T-shirts, and you find out that T-shirts are made by a white person. And it's like, stop culturally appropriating. And they're like, fuck you, whitey. Stay quiet.
If I only had a nickel for every time I heard "fuck you, whitey."
I usually get honky or cracker.
Yeah, cracker is probably top on the list, but
Yeah,
I think I get whitey more often than honky.
I don't know if y'all saw it, but I follow this channel, or I think it's a channel, but I follow it on Twitter called Orwell and Good, and they always show screenshots of radical leftist articles, and one was like, is it racist to have a white person make sushi for you?
Oh god.
And I'm like, what? Like, if anything, that spreads the culture of Japanese cuisine. Like, what are you talking about?
Angus, did you watch Cobra Kai season 2?
No, I will never watch anything Karate
that's
Kid.
right. You don't like it. You don't like it.
What is wrong with you?
There's just, okay, like, outside looking in, there's like this weird Alita type culture right now in the Phantom Menace with Karate Kid products and Cobra Kai. I'm just like, I fell for it once. I watched Alita. That was the worst experience in the theater I ever had because I had a hard decision off the trailer. I'm like, that looks boring. And then people in the Phantom Menace, big and small, convinced me like, this is a great female character, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw it and I'm like, what a waste of my fucking time,
I never watched it.
It was and so I realized that this is the problem in the Phantom Menace. Sorry if I offend any Alita Army people in here, but when you play to the SJW narrative and you say female character, you've already failed. All right, so I love Game of Thrones, and I tried to convince Ricky Critic for over a year until recently. He's finally started watching, but I was like, dude, Game of Thrones has everything. It's got everything SJWs want. It's got, diverse sexuality. It's got, as many dicks swinging as vaginas showing and everything else.
Possibly more.
It's got various, it's got various sexual identities. It's got various, even though it's a Euro-based fantasy, so it's white, it's got various cultures in it. It's never catered to SJWs. It's just been diverse naturally from the writer being adapted. But recently SJW has been triggered because Missandei got killed, which she's a black woman, etc. Daenerys turned, so they've made the iconic strong female into a Hitler. um, but before then, it was whatever. But no, when you play into their narrative, you've already failed. And so I fell for Alita, and I was disappointed because like the plot was everywhere. It's like, wait, all right, so you got this like futuristic, but like in the past, superpower technology with Alita, but it's lost, and now she's like the last one. But then you also got this plot of like, oh, the doctor who fixed all these cyborgs is also a bounty hunter for bad cyborgs, and you got these cyborgs that are like spy kids that no matter what you do to them, they like just get more parts. And then you got the rollerblade shit or whatever it is, the motor ball or whatever. And then you got this heaven and hell allegory with like, let's go to the city in the sky that's like kept from all of us in hell, and the plot's just everywhere. And it's like, what? Like I was trying to deconstruct it with Rookie Crit. I'm like, if I had to pitch this, like, there's so much stuff I have to include. Like, how did this get sold to the theater, to Fox to make this? I'm just lost. So it was worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp. Is worse than Justice League to me. Watching it, where I'm like, 2 hours. And so that's how I feel about it. I'm like, you fell for the SJW narrative, so I don't care anymore. Like, I love Game of Thrones, and I've said it, like, the two main characters are Daenerys and Cersei through the whole show. Two women. It was pushed mainly by men before it became a pop sensation. We never talked about, oh, it's got women characters. Like, we just liked it because it had sex, it had gore, it had violence, it had intrigue, and it was just for everyone. My favorite characters as a kid was Pocahontas and Xena, but I never thought of them as females. I just thought they were cool. I never thought Batman's cool because he has a dick, like it's stupid. When you play into their, like, you've failed. Don't do it. Don't justify from their narrative.
Yeah,
that cat back there.
my cat's in heat and she hasn't been fixed yet, so we'll be taking care of that shortly.
Got some hot pussy over there, do you?
Don't tell Angus; he'll be on my doorstep.
Right.
Yeah, Bruce. I liked Alita herself. Of course, she had the big, huge come on me eyes. That was hot. She could make her own vagina. She could make her own hymen with her whole like morphing technology.
Wait,
that
what?
was cool.
That was
Here
on
we
the
go. Here we go.
Now I want to see it. Wait a minute.
No, because like she got her new body and then she could like morph herself a little bit.
Oh.
And so like people like I remember I think it was Julie, wished upon vlog. She's like she doesn't even have a vagina. It's like, well, she could. Like she could change her body form. So I don't think it's beyond
He's just taking liberties to suit his fantasies here.
I don't think it's beyond the possibility that she could form her own vagina if she wanted. But that wasn't part of the plot. But it's just like clearly this is a possibility unless stated otherwise. But yeah, it's like
this was not the movie Angus came to see.
The plot
He developed his own plots.
I don't know. I didn't think Alita was half bad. It's not the, it was overhyped, I think, but it was okay. I could follow the plot all right.
Well, okay, I really think the like 80 to 100 million it made in America would have been less without Captain Marvel pushing it, because most of the people I saw in the Phantom Menace pushing it saw it like 4 to 6 times.
Yeah, there was kind of a boycott going on there.
So yeah, it was a huge boycott with a small majority. Not to use SJW rhetoric about like a minor, vocal minority, but I think there was definitely a vocal minority that paid a lot to boost Alita, and that's fine if you want to boost something to try to make it successful. But it's like you went above and beyond. It still didn't work. It broke even at best. I did a stream where I did the math where it's like if they spent just this much on production across the world, it still barely broke even, and it's likely they spent more than that. I wasn't sold, but yeah, my biggest takeaway was like, this is where the Phantom Menace, even if it's just a small part of the Phantom Menace, this is where they're like kind of becoming SJW themselves without realizing it. Where it's like, just let it stand on its own. China was the biggest market, and it did like what, 300 million international. Like, it wasn't a hit,
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't be trying to push any movies for any kind of agenda, because then we start turning into what we're fighting against. Hashtag go see Rambo.
I went to check out Rambo at the library, and they only had like Rambo 3. I'm like, I need to see the first two. Like,
Yeah, the first one. You got to see the first one.
Yeah. Speaking of
If you like the
unpopular
first one,
opinions,
go watch the next two. But yeah,
am I the only one who's done with these geriatric action stars? Because everybody seems to be looking forward to this. Everybody's giving me hate anytime I mention that. I think we need a new breed. That's all.
No, I totally agree with you.
I love those guys. I grew up with those guys, but they're fucking old as shit.
Right. No, we're seeing them coming of their own. Like The Rock, is going to probably be the Stallone of the next 20 years. And you got your what's his name from Aquaman. He's probably going to start taking that kind of a role, I bet. But you're absolutely right. Every time I see Schwarzenegger now, it's like, oh man, just go home.
You can only take so much stretched skin.
Yeah, and with the Terminator role, it's really just kind of getting insulting at this point. And speaking of which, that next Terminator just looked horrific, and I am not excited about that at all. But in Stallone's defense, the Rambo character itself, I believe he's gracefully played that character well enough where there's a nice slight hint of believability in there. If you followed his whole story all the way through it, it's completely out there as far as possibility, but it's still believable. You know what I mean? But the Terminator character is not believable, especially if 75, 80 years old, But I can still believe, Rambo can set up booby traps at 75 years old. So I can buy that scenario better. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm just, I don't know. I got made fun of for this too, but, because he set up traps before, yes, it's in his history. But seeing it in the household, that automatically struck me as Home Alone. So
yeah.
I did a video on that, and I got some blowback.
No, it's cool, man. I get it. We've only seen one trailer,
Right.
So who knows? It could be, that could be like the final part of it, maybe, or something. But I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater here and pick it apart. I'm just happy that there's something out there that still appeals to me, at this point, because it's getting really few and far in between for me to get excited about a movie anymore. It's kind of sad. I am looking forward to the next Rob Zombie flick. I don't know if you follow those, but House of Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now Three from Hell. And that's another one I really like, was those three movies, or the last two. So that one comes out around Halloween, I think.
Yeah.
But besides that,
I have been watching those, and I'll probably check that one out too. The problem I have with Rob Zombie is he kind of lost me on the Halloween franchise.
No.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
No.
That was just Rob Zombie. That's
yeah.
all of his movies are very similar.
Dude,
and you can't take Michael Myers and turn him into white trash just because you want to, because that's what you love to do.
Honestly, watching it recently, that leading up to the Halloween 2 remake, whatever reboot, I watched Halloween 1 and 2. Mainly the first one. I'm like, is this like a origin story of Rob Zombie? But no, I honestly, I love the Rob Zombie take on Halloween. It's the more realistic take. And then the sequel, that first, outing in the what do you call it, in the hospital, I was like, holy fuck. And then it's like, oh, it's a dream. Like, shit, that was hardcore as fuck, So I honestly like the Rob Zombie Halloween iterations. I really wanted to see a third one, but of course I think Dimension went under and whatnot. But like, I'm not a Rob Zombie like fanboy. I like some of his music, but I'm not like head over heels with his catalog. Um, but yeah, I feel like I would love to see his third movie, see what that was like. Like at least like a tangent kind of take on Halloween, like more realistic. I appreciated it. So
Well, just watch The Devil's Rejects, and you've pretty much seen it.
Did you like the Salem movie, Witches of Salem?
yeah, Lords of Salem. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, I hated that one.
It's well, given his track record of being like balls of all gore and stuff, and then watching that one was just like slow and methodical. I was like, that really creeped me the fuck out. Especially, I'm a big fan of The Witch by Robert Eggers, and I'm still waiting on his. He's supposed to be doing like a Nosferatu remake, and I kind of tie that with Lords of Salem as like the kind of genre of just like not spiritual horror, but like I don't know, metaphysical, if you will. And yeah, it creeps me out. So
Oh, I got one for you, Angus. Check out the movie Begotten. Begotten. It's he did another movie that was based on the character of Nosferatu. What's his name? Played him. William Dafoe. It was a great movie, but it's his original movie was called Begotten. But that one's definitely a nice mind twist. I think you'll like it.
Interesting.
It's got some religious aspects to it as well, which I think you can appreciate. So you should definitely check it out. It's hard to find, though. Hard to find, so you might have to pirate it.
Yeah, I saw the first Conjuring, and I was like, eh. And I saw the second one, and I was like, I watched like 20 minutes of it. It was like pitch black in my house. My wife was asleep, and I was like, yeah, I can't watch this by myself. Like I had to turn off till the morning and finish it with like light through the house. Like,
oh, Angus.
Oh, you chicken shit.
Give me that man card.
okay.
Let's
Hey,
pull it right now, Gatus. Right now.
I'm aware of what makes me freaked out, and like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was just like balls to the wall, like gore and shit for the first 20 minutes. It's like, fuck, that was a great way to like start it. Like it was just a dream, but no, like stuff like the Conjuring. So when I was in AIT for medic school, I saw Sinister with 3 other guys in my class, and this Hawaiian guy, he like freaked out and like screamed when the kid's face popped out in the shadows, and so he made all of us freak out. And so like I'm like a hummingbird. When I get scared, I just like tense up. But I kind of like it's like and so like the whole audience was like laughing at us for the moment when that happened.
I actually liked Sinister. I thought that was a pretty creepy movie. I was impressed.
Yeah. So my my closet in my dorm with my roommate, my light would always flicker for a good minute before it like set. And so after Sinister, I would just turn the light on in the closet and wait for it for a minute before I would open it, because that movie freaked me out, So like, yeah, like especially like the Super 8 film, and it's quiet, but like you're just hearing like the whir of the Super 8 film playing, and then like people's head getting ran over by a fucking lawnmower. It's like, shit, like that's creepy.
Honestly, I'm a little bit envious because I remember that feeling you're describing, but I haven't felt it like in years, man. Like I haven't been actually hit with a jump scare in a very long time, and I miss it. Honestly.
Yeah, like so I try to explain to people like my mindset from a child growing up. Like I rooted for the Velociraptors when I was a kid, in Jurassic Park. I love the bad guys, love the bad entities. And the one thing that really stuck with me my whole life was the facehugger from Alien, because the xenomorph didn't scare me. I thought it was really cool looking, but like the chest burster was cool, and the xenomorph was cool, but the facehugger, like especially Alien 2, like even now, like, oh god, like it's a it's a fucking spider with a tail. And then if you understand like the intrinsic horror of like male rape in Alien, outside of the science of like
Oh yeah.
outside of like wasp, you know, how they impregnate tarantulas is kind of like the science of the alien.
Yeah, we have those down here.
Giger, you know, if you understand Giger, like his whole horror is based in sex and stuff. Like when he was a kid in, I think, Sweden or Switzerland, there was a mummy exhibit, a female mummy exhibit that freaked him the fuck out. But his sister was older, so she'd always make fun of him. So he like forced himself to not be scared of the exhibit. So he kept forcing himself to go to the exhibit and just like suffer this fear. And so that's the intrinsic nightmares of his horror that he draws. And when you tie that with Alien, which is all like penis based, all sex based, and you see like the face hugger, like, yeah, it's a spider that like fucks your face, but it's really a pair of hands holding your face fucking you, and like the lung pads, whatever, with the face huggers like balls, and the fingers are hands. It's just like that's some deep shit, you know. The face hugger just freaks me out. And then like you watch Alien Covenant, whether you like Alien Covenant or not, the face hugger scene where it's like it's CGI, so it can go everywhere now. You know, it's like, oh god, it's everywhere. You know, and I'm just like, I'm in the theater by myself. You know, I'm like, oh god, it's a fucking face hugger just crawling around everywhere.
You think it's hot. I know you
Yeah,
do.
deep down inside, you want to
No.
encounter a face hugger.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, so I figured out my fear of spiders goes back to being a kid. My dad was a germaphobe, and so I was like, you know, playing in the bathtub with my toys and shit. And then all of a sudden I saw the spiders just sitting in the corner of the tub, just chilling, you know, mind his own business. Like looking back as an adult, it's like, whatever. It's just, you know, a fairly large spider. But yeah, you're just sitting in the corner, but it freaked me the hell out. I was like, Daddy, you know, help. And this fucker just running around the house trying to find a shoe that's not his to squish the spider, just traumatizing me.
I really like that's not his part.
Yeah, no, literally. He's trying to find a shoe that's not his to squish the spider. And I'm just stuck in this tub without the mindset of like, just get out of the tub, you know, because I'm a kid. And I'm like, I'm naked. I got to stay in the tub, you know. And so I'm just stuck by the spider. It's freaking me out. And
That's probably a good life lesson for you, though.
It all makes sense now.
Number
Well,
one,
honestly,
you can't trust daddy. And number two, sometimes
honestly,
you're going to be alone with spiders.
honestly, what I do with my son is whatever he's afraid of, I try to like just like kind of, for not knowing what else to do, given what I've experienced, I try to like just make him tougher and be like not afraid of stuff like daddy's afraid of, you know, like with this fucking tarantula, I'm like, fuck, you're by yourself, kid. But you know, otherwise, you know, like with like frogs, he's not afraid of frogs now, at least relative size frog, like, you know, palm size. You know, I'll like catch him in the yard when I see him, and I'll like have him pet him, and like he's actually been pretty good. And but I'm always trying to find those things that he's afraid of and just try to like be reasonable and not like just like traumatize him, but try to push.
Angus, have you watched my favorite movie, The Thing? John Carpenter's The Thing?
Yeah.
So that has a lot of crazy innuendos in it too. Whole inner body thing and taking over the body and kind of impregnating you with, you know, itself, so to speak. A great analogy of that is when, you know, the guy gets taken over in the very beginning of the film. It has all these like snake looking things wrapped around him and going into his mouth. And so, yeah.
You're going to get Angus excited.
I think he is excited. So
Dude,
I thought
I
I'd just, you know, pour some honey on his nipples.
I love the model for Species is she's a dime. So despite the creepy like egg thing in the train and stuff, like I don't know, I think I would fall for it, and then I'd be completely scared shitless and die.
That's beautiful.
She killed Alfred Molina. How could she kill Doc Ock? He just wanted to get laid.
Yeah, that's just it, man.
It's poetic.
That's all any of them wanted. They just wanted some ass.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for bringing me on tonight, Angus. It's been great.
Has it? Has it really?
It's been real. No, but it's been a lot of fun, buddy. Good topics. Good topics.
Wait, Angus muted himself. What the hell's going on?
I think he had to have a moment, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
So,
gotcha. All those snakes in the mouth got to him.
Right. Got a little hot and heated in here.
You're trying to bow out gracefully. He's jacking off with the mic muted.
Right. Stand by.
No, that was last week when someone was talking in the chat with a recruiter about the girl Shay was a porn star. I'm like, let me look into this. Like, wow, she really was a porn star.
Nice.
I was like, yep, that is porn, and I'm enjoying it.
Red Gaze, where are you at now? Subscriber wise, I haven't checked in a little bit.
What wise?
Subscribers, where are you at now?
Oh, 267, I think.
267. Okay, I'll throw your channel another plug when I get back on Twitter here.
Oh, thank you, sir.
See if I can get you a few more. Get you past that 300 mark. I got Kermit up to past 200 last night, so he was ecstatic. I was actually feeling like a big brother to Kermit, and I was like, "Oh, here you go, buddy. Here's a couple sub."
Big time promoter now.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, Rick Gaze, not to brag, but what did you think when I shouted you out?
At what point in time?
Oh man,
Can you be more specific? I'm sorry.
When you were like less than 50, I was like, hey, go check out the Red Gaze.
Oh yeah, dude, that blew me away. Like, no, seriously. I mean,
careful what you say, Red. Careful what you say.
No, I know. I say it all the time, but like Angus has just been completely awesome to me. Like, he didn't know me from anything, and he's just been really, really helpful, really supportive, and I very much appreciate it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, to be honest.
No, I heard your voice and I was like, God, this reminds me of watching The Most Extreme on Animal Planet.
Well, I don't know. I'll work on my extremism.
No, you got a great voice, honestly, for YouTube. I remember Mr. Pete one time we were doing a stream. He's talking about how he's like, "Well, I got a face for radio and a voice for print." I don't quite agree. I think he's got a good Cecil voice, but I don't know if he wants that. But no, you got a great voice for streaming, so, and just content. So
Sultry and sexy.
When I try, I lose it a lot on live streams. I stop trying, but
no, honestly, I would the only critique I'd have for you is like, just do your gaze community with your own voice.
Would that make you hot?
Of course.
And bothered.
Then I'll do it.
No, it's funny because I was telling my wife, like, I was riding in the car with her, she was driving, and I was like scrolling through Twitter, and between conversation, and I'm like, here's something else Star Wars, like, oh fuck, like, there's a dick and an ass. Like, I forgot, like, Twitter's uncensored, so you can, like, follow porn stars and like see real shit going on, like. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot I followed that. Like, I never retweet it. The only thing I retweet is Razor Candy, because she's the model that my leg tattoo's based on. And well, she's in my intro as well, the bunny chick.
Yes.
Yeah, and
who could forget the bunny chick?
the doggy girl is my cherry crush. I was looking for like doggy girls, and I just happened to like see her. I'm like, oh shit! There's like a great little intro before you realize, like, oh, it's porn. Like,
And of course, she capitalized.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's great where I work too, because all the dudes are cool. So it's like, yeah, someone will show my intro. I'm like, yeah, this is my channel. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to sub to you. Like,
Videos always start out well. Start you on a happy note.
yeah. Hey, Snow, did you see my Vice review?
Vice review, maybe. I gotta be honest. Last few days have been kind of a blur, and I've been terrible about watching content.
You're like, well, I'm on the Geeks and Gamers train, so.
Well, yeah, so big and cool now. No, but yeah, I try to watch every. I got your bell hit, so I always get your notifications. So if I missed it, I'm sorry, but I'm not recalling what it was about.
No, it's funny. So there's this movie I wanted to see. So my Saint, anyone who doesn't know, didn't see that stream. If you've seen my video Saint Germanus, which is for Geeks and Gamers D-Day cover, I did a essentially. In hindsight, I realized I essentially took the Saint Francis of Assisi story of riches to rags, and I inverted it because within a year, Jeremy went from 800 subs to 100,000. And so I just kind of extrapolated that in a few video clips to sell my narrative. But originally, I was going to go see Vice with Christian Bale as Dick Cheney. And that didn't go over because I had to come back home. So then I was going to do a video about Adam Driver not being an SJW because he's a former Marine. His parent or grandparent was like a Baptist preacher from Indiana. And so I was just going to like, kind of doing an apologist video for Adam Driver, despite the sequel trilogy. And then for some reason I thought of this Jeremy thing. And I was halfway done. I had the script done. And I was like, fuck. There's way too many conservative Christians on the Fandom side. They're just going to think I'm making fun of Christendom or something. And I flipped out because me and him talked a lot beginning of the year. And he's like, "No, it sounds funny, dude. Just keep doing it." So I got a phone. I completed it and I uploaded it. And then I was like, "Fuck, Jeremy's going to think I'm like a John Lennon stalker when they kill him or something." So I was scared of that too. But then John Talks retweeted it. He thought it was hilarious. So I'm like, I got something here, and then of course Jeremy saw it and retweeted it. But yeah, like it was Vice was always in my radar, and then I never got to see it in theaters. So then I went to the library and it was at the main stand of like new shit. So I checked it out and I watched it, and I didn't realize it was a Gary Sanchez produced film, which is Adam McKay, who does like all of the Will Ferrell movies, or most of them. And I'm watching it, and it's full of little scenes, little snippets of like the movie's all over the place. It starts like in the 60s with Cheney being a drunk, working on like high lines, being a douchebag, driving drunk and shit, which I think is pointed. And I looked on Wikipedia at Adam McKay, and he identifies as a democratic socialist. All right, so I did my review, and I pointed this out and stuff. And the review was just talking about like the overall gist of the film, not really talking about specifics, which is not what I'd normally do. I normally go into spoilers completely. And I point out like, this is a problem, the way this movie is presented, because at some point in the future, with the way Hollywood is, this might be presented as factual. And this one guy in my comments is like, how is it not factual? And I'm like, yeah, some of these events might have happened, but the way you're spinning it is a problem. Like, me being conservative, I wouldn't make a movie about Obama this way, like, and I point out, like, Obama, despite whatever you want to think of him, he reinstated the Patriot Act. You think he's some like anti-war savior, but he reinstated this awful, calling cry for the liberals, the Democrats, what have you, against Bush. And no one knows that, though. No one realizes that Obama bombed more people with drones than Bush ever did, And I think you need to be fair. When you present regardless of your slant with your film, because there's always a bias, when you present a film about historical character and politics especially, you need to do it where it's like any speculative work, any introspection is about the mindset he grew up with, not he did X because he's evil. And that's the whole gist of Vice. Vice is Cheney's evil. He's the one that ran the Bush presidency. And the movie starts with saying this is as factual as it can be, given that Cheney was very secretive and scrubbed everything, supposedly. And so that's what I point out is like every time they show brown people, like Islamic people, essentially, is Guantanamo being tortured, being dragged like dogs and shit, which is bad, yes. But given the people we're fighting, that will either convince kids to put bombs on themselves, as suicide bomb people, or convince parents to send their kids on this mission. That says something, regardless of whether the Iraq-Afghanistan wars tied with terrorism were legitimate or not, whether their false flags are extrapolated beyond what they were. Me being an Afghan vet, that's an argument for sure. But when you're only showing the terrorists at Guantanamo as victims, the only time you show brown people in that regard, you're clearly having an angle that isn't genuine. Like there's a reason why Hillary and John Kerry, two prominent presidential nominees, were pro-Iraq war, and that's what I was presenting. Is like this movie's fault. There's a reason this movie maybe broke even, if that, because despite the great character performance, it has a pure political slant that is disingenuous. And so I got in this argument, and this dude hasn't replied as far as I know. It was very irritating. He tried to generalize me. He's like, "Oh, liberals are bad." It's like that's not my angle. Like I'm an Afghan war vet. Like a kid died on me my first day in combat. I have my feelings about essentially the Vietnam 2.0. Like this is all pointless and people die for no reason. Present it fairly. Don't say change this because he's an evil white man. And that's the whole angle of the film, where like they have moments where it's like, let's humanize him. Let's show him that like, oh, he protected his gay daughter from the Republican Party demonizing him because of his gay daughter. And something else I can't remember, but yeah, it's like they do little moments of that, but then it's quickly back to like evil white man controlling the presidency. It's like, come on, My head's just like in my hands, like, oh, come on. Like at some point, this can be seen in like a film class or a history class from some dumb history teacher that's just a football coach showing, like history through film. And he'll show like the Vice movie. And people will take it as fact and think like, oh, Republicans and Cheney and Bush, they're all just, they hated Muslims or hated brown people. And they orchestrated this whole war to get money off of their companies invested in oil stocks. And it's like, is that fair? Like,
no.
No.
None of it's fair. That's the problem
Definitely
with these Hollywood movies. It's just, it's all perspective. It's all, half of it's made up. It's practically historical fiction. So yeah, but there will be a large amount of people that will take it as fact and preach it as though it actually happened.
Yeah, like I expect a slant, but like,
yeah, well, I mean that goes for both sides too, really. As long as you have someone biased making what's supposed to be in essence like a biography, you can't really believe much of it.
Yeah, like you watch Gettysburg versus Gods and Generals, which I love Gods and Generals as a kid. Then I watched it recently, and I'm like, whoa, that's you're a bit too nice with the Confederates, But like, yeah, Stonewall probably, and Robert E. Lee clearly, like he, his whole motive wasn't about slavery at all. Like he wanted to get rid of his slaves as soon as possible, and he saw the opportune time and released his half of the slaves from his plantation or farm, whatever. But his wife was clearly pro-slavery. And of course, they leak all these letters from Lee where he's talking about like black people given their time frame. It's like you realize he's a general in like his 60s or 70s during the Civil War. Like he's got a perspective that is going to suit today's understanding, you know, like
Yeah, well, that's become commonplace too. You know, we drudge up all this crap from decades ago and be like, "Oh, well, look, so and so was racist." Well, the fuck, of course he was. You know, like General Lee, he was racist. Yeah, probably.
yeah, like
Probably, but that doesn't mean he's not a historical figure that should have a statue in Gettysburg.
yeah, I mean, like his whole motive was not slavery at all. It was, you know, like he fought for Virginia regardless, you know, like I just, you know, and like it was funny because where I learned the most about like the North with slaves and black people, being a black person, was a sports class where it's the sports class learning about the progression of what became legitimate professional sports. And a lot of it was, at least starting, was you did Pilgrims, and then you jumped to like mid 1800s with like the gangs of New York era. And yeah, they didn't like black people. Like the Irish, who Americans hated, and the white Americans, they would like team up and be like, hey, this black guy's got a shop. Let's go, you know, vandalize it because he's black, you know? So they would like, you know, make a truce and victimize black people. So it's like the North didn't like black people. There's this weird sell you see in like 12 Years a Slave where it's like, oh, the North is just some haven for black people. It's like they didn't want to see this. Why we went to Canada, you know? I'm just like, oh man, how has history become so skewed? You know, I don't see the purpose of it.
You're just a bigot. Nothing but a bigot.
It becomes skewed because it's rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and presented as fact. That's all.
Only the winners get to write the history books.
Yeah, but the SJWs keep trying, don't they?
They sure do.
Yeah,
Especially
it's really the gist of it is like this ties into like the whole Star Wars thing. Like Star Wars is a microcosm of the bigger cultural war we're fighting of like reasonability.
Like what? Yeah, what is The Last Jedi but trying to rewrite history?
exactly. And we are not accepting it, so
and it's
I
a
guess
much
we are the
shittier
rebels.
version.
Right?
Yeah, there's a video I have since around St. Germanus, a little bit after, around when I started casting the Game of Thrones videos, which I still need to finish. Like season 8 just killed all my enthusiasm. There's 2 more I gotta make, and I'm just like, do the people I cast even give a fuck? You know, like that's the biggest gist is like, hey, see who I cast you, and you know, like, and it's like,
It doesn't matter. Do you give a fuck?
yeah, partially. You know, I want to complete it, but
Partially.
He's got to finish his quadrilogy or whatever.
it's a Scintilogy, I think.
Scintilogy, right? Scintilogy.
But yeah, like, one of the things I've realized is, this is what the video will be about, is that Last Jedi makes sense of these people. It's not them willing it per se. It's just like that article, that study from that crack socialist doctor or whatever, Mr. White.
Dr. White.
Yeah, Dr. White, socialist doctor of the USSR. He wasn't quite wrong, if I'm being honest, about political spin or whatever affecting your view.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I think it's obvious outside of the study. Is like, yeah, if you're pro-capitalist, you're going to see a problem with super, like the Nike equivalent in film, with Disney spinning some anti-capitalist rhetoric when they're like the epitome of evil capitalism, you know?
Right. When you jam pack a fucking Star Wars movie full of political bullshit, oh, shocking. People who don't agree with you are going to have a problem with that. No shit.
Yeah.
We needed a survey for that?
The reason it makes sense to SJWs, all right, is just picture in your mind Don Imus, if any of you know the Don Imus fiasco in the early 2000s. Regardless of what you do as a person, when you commit thought crime, you are guilty forever. All right. Think of Mike Vick. Doesn't matter how many doggies he saves after what he did, he's always a dog killer
Yeah.
with these people. You know, you might be one of those. You might just love dogs so much you're like, fuck Mike Vick, he's never going to be forgiven. You're an SJW in that moment. Sorry to tell you. And that's not me being a Philly fan, you know. Like, that's just the state of things. You know, like, the dude paid his crimes in prison and you're still holding it over his head. You know, just, you know, no matter what he tries, you're always going to hold it over his head. He's a dog killer. Fine. You're an SJW. That's how it is with Star Wars. It doesn't matter what Luke Skywalker did for his friends, for the galaxy, for the rebellion. He thought about murdering Kylo Ren, which is a hero's dilemma. It's a Batman, it's a Punisher dilemma of like, do I? He's seen Darth Vader. He's saved his father, but he knows that mindset, and he saw it in Kylo. So he thought reasonably, what if I just kill him and save the galaxy the trouble?
Yeah. Well,
That
not just murdering him in his fucking sleep.
that was his hero's dilemma, that he is like, no, I can't do it. But Kylo caught him, and that was his catalyst. All right, so he committed thought crime. All right, so that's why it's 100% consistent, because regardless of whatever he did as a hero, he thought about the crime, and so he's guilty. And also with SJWs, with Kylo, for whatever reason, SJWs never attribute agency to killers. You see it with even school shootings. We're like, we got to stop gun violence. We got to take away guns from people. This whole, you know, rhetoric. Despite that, they also see the gunman as a victim of his upbringing. Despite them hating males, hating fatherhood and whatnot, they realize the utility, and so they spin it to fit their narrative to be like, well, he didn't have a father figure, so it's like it's society's fault that he shot people up because he didn't have a father figure, and it's like, what? it's you know, it's the left eating itself. That's why it's 100% consistent. You know, Kylo doesn't have any agency. He's a victim of his upbringing, so he's a victim of Luke Skywalker thinking of killing him. So his turn makes 100% it makes complete sense to them that, like, yeah, it's fine. He's whatever he does now. It's really on Luke Skywalker and on Leia and on Han. So yeah, once you realize that, then you can kind of understand the SJW and why they think Last Jedi works, along with the political shit, along with the feminism force on you with Holdo as an out of nowhere character, along with Rose Tico and Finn. They don't see the they're so focused on diversity. They don't see the problem that Last Jedi, the only things that happen of effect are by white people, and the minorities go off by themselves in a little story that matters nothing to the plot. They don't see that. They just see, we got our boxes checked, and everything wrong in the universe is because of white Luke Skywalker and the failings of white Leia, and you can extrapolate white Snoke because it's played by a white character or white actor, you know?
Yeah.
And it's, oh God, like,
Well, yeah. I
no
mean,
one was thinking about this with the original trilogy or the sequel trilogy. No one thought like, oh, well, whatever wrong Mace Windu did with Anakin, well, he's black, so, you know, like, he's got his own problems, you know, whatever. Like, no one thought that. People just thought like, oh, well, Mace Windu kind of fucked up, or he didn't trust Anakin, so that's partially why Anakin kind of falls, along with his own agency to choose in the ultimate end game. You were saying, Red?
Yeah, I was saying, you know, I understand why they enjoy the movie. What I'm saying is they're wrong. When you live a life where personal responsibility doesn't exist, or it isn't a thing, where you shouldn't be held accountable for your own bullshit, well then yeah, of course you're gonna, of course you're gonna get along with characters like Kylo Ren, who has zero personal responsibility and has constant violent outbursts, and pretty much leads the life of a child with real stuff.
Yeah, no, like for me, the only intrigue, character-wise, off the trilogy thus far is Kylo. Kylo clearly is, I would say, JJ trying to make a better Anakin in the anti-prequel kind of mindset of Star Wars, where it's like, oh, Anakin sucked, he wasn't actable, whatever.
Yeah.
I really see Kylo as like an attempt to make another Anakin, and try to flesh him out better. And there's intrigue there. I'm definitely interested to see where his character goes. I'm not expecting a Bendemption, but I expect it in some degree.
Yeah, I do too. I think he is probably the best character of the sequel trilogy. And he had potential, and that's what sucks about it. Like, he really did have potential. And one thing I thought was funny was that the opening line of The Force Awakens is, "This will begin to make things right." And I think that was a jab at George Lucas. However, the exact opposite happened. It was so much worse than anything that George Lucas could have ever shat out of his ass. Yeah. That just bothers me.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a George Lucas apologist. I know they're out there. The man had his flaws, but holy shit. I mean, there's no way he would have fucked this up this badly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could call me an apologist. Like, I was on an Anomaly stream recently when we were talking about, like, someone's like, do you think Lucas could have directed Empire better? And apparently, I don't know his sources, but he was saying that, like, Anomaly, because he gets a lot of intel, that apparently Lucas actually fixed Kirshner's story or whatever, despite him being in the background, because he was dealing with his divorce and kind of stabilizing Lucasfilm and whatnot. That he fixed Empire for what Kirshner was going to do. I don't know if that's true. We had this kind of speculation of, like, was Kirshner the genius, or was it Lucas in the background and didn't take the credit? I'm like, well, I've seen that video of Star Wars being fixed in the edit, and it seems Lucas didn't know what the fuck he was doing with, like, yeah, he had the general story, but he didn't know how to deliver it. And
Yeah, I was watching that stream, and I was actually watching during that segment, and I took a little bit of issue with that, mainly because, I mean, I'm a lifer, man. I've been following Star Wars for fucking ever, and I've never heard any such thing.
I've never heard.
Plus, there's a whole lot. Let's be honest. George Lucas does a lot of bullshitting. He takes a lot of credit for shit he hasn't done, for stuff that he hasn't come up with. And I mean, yeah, if he's the source, well then fuck that. You know what I mean? I have trouble taking him at his word anymore. That's all. Not that I don't love the guy and I don't appreciate what he's done for us, but yeah, he's a bullshitter.
Well, yeah, it's clear he's tried to shove his former wife from any credits with Star Wars, despite her clearly being a fix for the first Star Wars.
Yeah.
But with that, like I said, like, well, with Lucas getting more mature, with learning potentially from those mistakes of the first film, it's within possibility, especially you see the prequels, like you see, like he's got a clear vision, he knows what he wants to do. It's totally within the realm possibility within one movie. He could have, really tightened down the hatches for his vision. But yeah, with this whole background, especially because, like, it seems his real involvement with Lucasfilm was at that point with the Temple of Doom after Empire. I think, was Temple of Doom after Return of the Jedi?
Oh shit! I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan, so I couldn't tell you.
What do you call it? Number 3, Crusade, was 1990, so I don't know the time span of Temple of Doom, but he channeled his divorce apparently into the script of Temple of Doom, which a lot of Indiana Jones fans say that's the weakest of them. I thought I like the whole series. I don't really know which one's the best, honestly. That's why I'm like, after seeing 4, I'm like, I don't know where the fuck you go with Indiana Jones, because he dealt with like some fucking demonic, occult shit in Temple of Doom, and he dealt with like the Cup of Christ and the Nazis in 3, and then he deals with aliens in 4. Like, what else do you do with it, guy? Like it's done. Just fantasize. That's. I want to say there. I don't know if it was Hamlet or not, but there was something in English class where it was written where it's like, it could go any way you want. Like just leave it alone. There's no sequel to it. Okay, so Temple of Doom was 84, Return of the Jedi was 83. So yeah, all right. If George Lucas was channeling his divorce in Temple of Doom script, and Return of the Jedi was 83, seems pretty clear that perhaps he didn't have a lot of involvement with Empire. As like directing behind the shadows, like the Emperor or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't buy it. I can see maybe he came in and said, "Oh, well, maybe we should cut this or add that," but I don't see it being anything that's like breaking the movie. What dude was saying was like, if George Lucas hadn't gotten involved and fixed all this shit, Empire would have been the biggest piece of shit ever made. Like, come on, seriously.
Well, the first script was pretty solid, from what I understand. That was written by the woman that like died right after. So, it was just Larry Kazdan coming in and like kind of fine tuning it. So that's the other thing too. I've thought about doing a video because I watched I was trying to find the commentary for Force Awakens, and at least on my Blu-ray, there's not a commentary. I don't know if it's the same on the normal version. There's no commentary for Force Awakens. So I watched the behind the scenes, and it seems very clear that the whole movie and the whole trilogy was based off of JJ had one little idea, and then the art department gave them everything to kind of tie in together. Phasma was a throwaway for Kylo design, and Kathleen Kennedy said, make that a woman. So that's where Phasma came from.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And so it's pretty clear. And then you see Larry Kazdan, the guy who wrote Empire, supposedly. He's like, yeah, when I wrote this, it's whatever, it didn't have any pressure. I just wrote it. And then he comes back 30 plus years later to Force Awakens. It's like he's got this whole mystique to him after that in Indy. And so it clearly warped his perception. Just like I talked about in like What I Would Do with Lucasfilm, where it's like, whether you like them or not, like I love the prequels, but clearly there's a different vision, regardless of how much Lucas had written. There's a clearly different vision with the prequels compared to the original trilogy. And
Yeah.
you see it in Ridley Scott with Alien versus the prequels he did. He's Ridley Scott is channeling his agnosticism and battling religion and his own thoughts with the prequels of Alien and trying to like piece it out through his art, which is awesome to me. But it's not what the fans want.
Right.
It's not what the diehards like. All the that's why Alien Covenant and Prometheus get shit on by the fans. I love Prometheus. Alien Covenant's like but I want to see where it keeps going.
I didn't hate Prometheus. I did hate Alien Covenant.
Yeah, no, Alien Covenant is definitely like, wait. Like, how did the robot fuck up the quote?
I was just pissed off because the aliens finally got themselves some white privilege.
Oh, yeah. No,
well, I mean, for the prequels, George Lucas like flat out said, I made this for my kid, so deal with it. So yeah, I think that's where he was coming from with that.
Yeah, like
at least with the Phantom Menace.
There's a clear different mental take on the same property, given age, given research, everything, just how they've grown up to that point. They're seeing it totally different than if they continuously made it like boom, boom, boom. Like Indiana Jones is pretty tight, 7 to 10 year window before the fourth one. And you see that with Indiana Jones, where it's like, all right, you got this clear trilogy, and then you got this fourth tangent kind of out of nowhere. You got the prequels that are like totally different, even if it was part of the same story in his head. He's going a totally different way and way deeper, which I appreciate. I think it says a lot more and will last a lot longer, at least from being torn apart, looking at story building and political intrigue and whatnot. but yeah, like I don't know. I'm on the side of like, yeah, Lucas wasn't involved with Empire that much, but it's intriguing for sure to think about.
Yeah, it is. But when I was hearing it, I was listening to the stream that you were on, and I was hearing it directly from the mouth of what appeared to be a diehard Lucas apologist, and I don't listen to those people.
No.
Just like I don't listen to diehard Lucas haters. Like that, you're just too biased. Your shit's too skewed, and you're full of shit.
Yeah. I love to keep going because I could keep going, but I got to go to work tomorrow. So.
Oh, I hear you. 4 o'clock is approaching rapidly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let y'all go.
Snow Dub, you awake?
Snow Dub.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm still here. Megs was calling me on the other line, so I was on a phone call.
So you're two-timing me now with your sister. You fucking Jamie Lannister bitch.
My bad. Well, you know, when next time you get an open gash in your brain, I'll make sure to pay you a lot more.
We'll see what we can do about putting one there.
All right. More of its fantasies.
I love how this went all over the place. Like, if you're ever on a phone call with me, like I am with Snow or Red Gaze or Drunk 3PL, like you never know where a phone call is going to go if we have enough time. So this is kind of what it's like, honestly, behind the scenes. So thanks for coming. Both y'all pitch your channels for anyone that might be new in here. I don't know y'all.
Snow Dub Music and Entertainment. We got the Blue Conservative Puppet and the newly stitched together Megs show. So please join us. Hopefully we'll be back to doing our videos here as soon as she's healed up. But you can check out our channel and check out her channel as well. It's just Megs, pretty easy to find. So yeah, there's that plug.
Not looking forward to that. Sorry, what? No. No, I hope to have Megs on here too. Of course, Snow will come in as well.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I don't think I can prevent that, honestly. Like, unfortunately.
Well, it's not so much me; it's that damn puppet. You know, he just takes over.
How nervous were you? Just really quick. How nervous were you doing Jolly on D-Day covers?
Not too bad because you know, like most of our streams, this is a little behind the scenes for everybody, but usually when you set up a stream, you talk it out for a few minutes before you even go live. And so when he called her, he thought it was just her at first. And I was kind of hiding in the corner like you see in the video. And he asked if I was around. And then, of course, you know, I pop in and we laughed about it. And so it kind of cut the tension right away, you know, bringing the puppet in and getting Jeremy laughing. So my nerves were fine after that because I knew he was going to be entertained by whatever I did with that stupid puppet. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
And I shouted out your channel, Angus.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I did. I didn't get you though, Red Gaze. I'm sorry.
You suck.
That's okay. I know your true feelings. It's all right. It's all right.
I had a brain fart there when I started rambling off channels. I'm like, oh man, I know I'm forgetting so many. Fuck me, you know. So,
oh God, there's so many to even keep track of. No ill will, sir.
I'll try to get you next time.
But speaking of, I am the Red Gaze. Please do come and join the gaze community at the Red Gaze and cruise the content and let me know what you like and what you don't, and we'll work it out.
Work it out.
Work it out. It's mainly Fandom Menace, Comicsgate, all the good stuff people like to bitch about.
There was something I was going to say, and I totally lost it. It's going to bug me now.
Was it gay?
I don't think
Sexual
so.
fantasy.
Face hugging action.
Yeah, okay. So, anyone out in LA or knows LA, it's not set in stone clearly at all yet, but might go to a celebration if I can accrue enough funds. You can help with that. I might make a GoFundMe. Clearly, the GoFundMe for Rookie and Josiah have not worked out well, but I might do another one for this or Indiegogo or whatever. But if you want to meet me in LA, let me know. Let me know places you want to meet up or something. Awesome strip clubs, perhaps, because that's my forte. Or whatnot, bars, if you want to shell out singles for the strippers.
We're talking nickels and dimes.
But no, honestly, yeah. I'm really thinking about doing it, especially meeting up with Drunk 3PO. So, yeah, let me know if you want to do a meetup or something, if you plan to go out that way. If not, if you're in Florida, I might go to see Drunk in December. Still tentative, but it could be a thing for Rise of Skywalker, so that could happen as well. But hopefully, if I go to LA, I might fly out to Tucson and ride out with
Eaten alive by Dobermans.
ride out with Snow Dub, and at least do meetups after the celebration events of the day.
Yeah, I definitely want to head out there, even if we don't get tickets. I think from what I've seen happen, in that Chicago one, I think this next one will be even bigger. So it'd be a shame to not be involved if you can be. That's for sure.
Yeah, let's crash the party of Lucasfilm, and
What I'm talking about.
let's just see how wide the jaw can set of Rajon. What was it, Rage One? I always fuck up the name. The new live action chick with the horse face. Let's just see how low her jaw can just fall in disbelief. Like, these bigots are here. Oh my god!
Yes.
Maybe we get reggae to come out as well.
I'll see what I can do. I'm a broke bitch.
Well, you got a year to plan for it. So start putting away a few of them nickels and dimes you're going to give the strippers.
Well, then I can't hit the club.
Oh well, shit. Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, when I was in Oklahoma City, I used to live in Oklahoma, of course, because I'm from Oklahoma. And before I deployed, me and my friend, I got tickets to go see Thunder Spurs. This was when KD was in Oklahoma City. So he wasn't a bitch yet. And my friend found a strip club about 10 miles or so outside of downtown Oklahoma City. And we're just chilling there, watching the couple. It was like a small venue. And this one ugly bitch, she like throws her tits in my face. And that was like a new thing. I didn't know that was a thing. And she expected like $1 from them. Like don't hand out freebies if you expect to get paid. Like I just acted stupid. She's like, what? Nothing? I'm like, what are you talking about? And she just like left, like, fuck this guy.
Kind of like the windshield washers that just come up and start washing your shit. And you're like, get out of here. Get them tits out of here.
Exactly. I was like, what are you doing?
Get those in Baltimore a lot.
But no, that was a funny experience. And then I ended up, the girl on like the last like 2 or 3 main areas of dance. I was like, hey, I want to dance later. And she's like, cool. And then we, she went to the private area, and I was like, so what's your nickname? Because I was familiar enough being in San Antonio before with strip clubs, I know they have like nicknames. She's like, I'm Barbie. She's like, what's your nickname? I was like, fuck, I don't have a nickname.
Ken, you should have just went with Ken, man.
Well, I'm not quick on my feet like that, so I didn't think at the time. But I was just like, fuck, what do people call me? I'm just, my given name is blank, so I don't know. Like, that was a fun experience. But yeah, you could experience stuff like this with me in person, potentially in LA. So let me know. All right, going to head out. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to stream or something. Or want me to check out a channel. I want to stream with these bigots, Red Gaze, Snow Dub. Red Gaze has been pushing Ardana and Blood Hunt. Go check those out on Indiegogo.
Do you mind if I throw out a shout out here quick?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Adam AF, Tinfoil Hat Nick, and Simon Potier. We all get together and do what's called Doodle and Chill now on Saturdays at 2:00. It's on one of our channels at any given time. I believe it's on Adam's this week. But yeah, check us out if you're into comics and shit. Check it out. Simon's a killer artist, by the way, and he does most of the doodling.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for Drunk and Lethal for coming on different times and intervals. Go sub to Lethal Lightning. Of course, wait till after I pass him if you haven't. So, yeah. Talk to y'all later.